Hey, Spider fans, crawl spacers. This one I've been looking forward to. I love some Spidey Super Stories. I said, JR, let's talk about some. And I was surprised when he said, all right, we'll do it. So here's JR for Spider History, Spidey Super Stories. Are you excited, JR?
Anyway. I think Adam Winchell, this is going to be the answer to your question. No, I'm not running out of. As you know, we all have fun and games here. We enjoy each other's company. We like to talk about Spider-Man. Every once in a while, though, like any other job you have, the man who pays the bills reminds you that he's the man who pays the bills.
Well, I didn't force you to do this one. I just suggested it.
Yeah, and Brad has been, he's been pushing for Spidey Super Story, pushing for Spidey Hulk. Brad's, I listen to all you people out there, and you tell me your stories, and your ideas, and I write them down, and then Brad comes in with his ideas. But Brad wanted to do a little. I think this is the. Is this the 25th anniversary of the crawl space?
Yes. This will be released in August when we tie it all together on the audio part. Yes. The website's 25. The podcast would be 17.
So since we're doing this for the August/September timeframes, I said, because Brad wanted to know what I was doing earlier in the year. Jared, I want to know what you doing because I want to get pictures of Jesus. And I said, okay.
You say I want to get pictures of Jesus? What'd you say?
Well, no, I just said you want to get pictures of Jesus.
Oh, okay. Get me pictures of Spider-Man, not Jesus.
No, that was just a string of consonants. There were no vowels.
Okay, I got you.
But I said, okay, Brad, because April is the anniversary of the crawl space. August. So it'll be Brad's month. Whatever Brad wants to talk about, we'll talk about. And I said, do you want to talk about Spidey Super Stories or do you want to do Spider-Man Hulk stories? And he said, Spidey Super Stories. So I said, all right, give me 5 Spidey Super Stories and we'll go through them. That's why we're getting Spidey Super Stories.
By the way, your son's in the chat. You better mention the Thanos-Copter, Dad.
What the hell? I didn't know you could use a computer on your own.
Yes, so my word, it's Spencer. Yes.
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about that because one of Brad's picks was issue number Spidey Super Stories number 39.
Yep.
But we won't get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, we're starting with the early issues.
Needless to say, if you can see it,
Thanos-Copter is coming.
The Thanos-Copter is coming.
Spencer, the superior JR, says Milo.
All right. Milo, wait a minute. You're already on my list. Okay.
Adam says, Spencer putting JR on notice. Spencer just gave his old man a heart attack.
I was about to say, where's my blood pressure meds? Oh my
Clear.
Lord. Oh, here's my meds, on my med packet, so.
Oh my God.
That's what happens
Monday,
when you're old.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Scared me to death.
We're going to start the issue I asked for was issue number 6, which features one of the Amazing Friends. And it also features the first appearance of the African-American Spider-Woman, even though she doesn't get in suit in this one. But I think her name is Eve. She's right over there. So.
Now, just a little background. We have done occasionally Spidey Super Stories during our months when we've done like month to month. But just a little bit about where this came from originally. In the early 1970s, there was the Children's Television Workshop had Sesame Street. And that was for small children under 5 years old to learn basic letters, numbers, things like that. Well, the Children's Television Workshop then came up with a show that would work with kids at the next level, the kids who were learning how to put all those words, all those letters together and learning how to read. The show was called The Electric Company, and it started in 1971. And it had a high-powered cast. For the first 2 years, Bill Cosby was a member. In fact, he used, well, that's why I say he's nameless now. The nameless guy who did that show in the 80s but he used his work on the electric company to get his PhD in education. Rita Moreno, who I believe is I think she's at least an EGOT. I think she's an EGOT, isn't she? Like,
oh yeah, she is.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
If memory serves, isn't she the voice that goes, "Hey, you guys"?
Yes, we'll see that character. And Morgan Freeman, in one of his early jobs, he'd been in Shakespeare and things like that, but that didn't pay the bills. Nope. But he signed up for the electric company. He was on it for 5 years. And
by the way, here he is on the cover. He was easy reader.
He was easy reader, and according to one of the producers, he hated every moment of that 5 years.
Oh, really?
That was disappointing to learn, because people would come up to him, and it's almost like Harrison Ford. People come up, easy reader, man. It's like, I don't care. But he's lightened up a little bit about it, I guess. But apparently he just really was going through a hard time in his life, and he thought he was going to get typecast in a kid's show as a kid's entertainer forever. It took him a while, but 10 years later, he appeared in I think Street Smart something with Christopher Reeve, and he got an Oscar nomination at least for it. So anyway, the electric company, it ran for 7 years. In 1974, the Children's Television Workshop went to Marvel Comics and said, the wall.
It was the umpire,
He was also Dracula, the vegetable vampire.
Rita Moreno, the star of Fast X.
And but anyway, so they went to Marvel and they said, we'd like, why don't we do a comic book? And they also had a segment on the show with an actor whose name is Danny Seagren, who was apparently a dancer as well, which is,
worked with Jim Henson.
I believe
Wikipedia.
And they had these little segments where Spider-Man appeared, and he didn't talk, but he had word balloons. But we'll kind of get into that as we go through the issues. But anyway, the Electric Company was phenomenally popular.
I loved it.
Very high rated. But it was canceled after 7 years because it didn't make any money in licensing. And PBS told the Children's Television Workshop, if you want to keep both the Electric Company and Sesame Street on the air, we'll make Electric Company episodes, but we're going to have to make a lot less Sesame Street episodes. Well, Sesame Street was their bread and butter. Sesame Street's merchandising was paying the bills on its own. So after 7 years, the Electric Company got canceled. Reruns lasted till 85. There has been, I think they revived it with an entirely new cast in the 2000s.
They did.
But anyway, they made, so anyway, that's kind of the history. And Marvel put their effort into this book. I mean, Jim Salicrup wrote some stories. John Romita Jr. did some covers.
Senior do the covers. Yes. If you can see the one we're talking about right now, there, John Romita
and Esposito.
Yep.
So
also Jack Kirby did a couple of them too, if memory serves.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel.
You've got Kirby inked by Romita on one of them, I remember.
Yeah, Marvel put effort into this. This wasn't like a and you'll have to remember too. In 1974, we had Amazing Spider-Man, and we had Marvel Team Up, and this was 2 years before. This was 2 years before Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man came out. So this was legit Spidey entertainment. Yes, it was for, grade school or whatever. And it was simple and it was silly or whatever. But hey, it was another Spider-Man comic.
I picked it up, man.
And a lot of us from that time period ate it up just like we would anything else. So as we go through these, we're going to have fun with it. We're going to make fun with, fun of things, but this was meant for children. That was its function. And
this was my age group. I was the perfect target age. JR was a little old for this book. I was the perfect target.
That's
why I have a lot more fond memories than JR does of this series.
Well, no, I don't have any unfond memories, but I had to give it up after a while because I had a limited allowance, and Spectacular came out, and then they raised prices to 35 cents. 35 cents. But anyway, so Spidey Super Stories. We'll open it up.
We're going to do issue number 6. We're going to start off of the 5 we're going to talk about. And here's an origin story.
We'll try to get through these. Usually the page usually the back of the cover page was a little bit of information about the guest star. Usually in every Spidey Super Stories, another superhero guested, or there might be something about the villain of the piece.
By the way, grab your muffs and your mittens, kittens, for more of our Frozen friends. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
anyway, let's
go. Just one more thing on the electric company.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman quit after 5 years. He said it exhausted him. And then I did some more research. They filmed like 130 episodes a year.
Oh my Lord.
That was a grind. So anyway, so we're here in New York. You know, there's always usually a splash page, and then the story starts. We're in New York, and Bobby Drake, who at this time was an ordinary young boy who had yet to have his orientation completely changed by Jean Grey. You know, and of course, you know, he's Iceman because he's running around New York and everybody else is dressed to now he's walking around in short
sleeve shirts. There's Bobby Drake.
So it's like, oh man, you know, I got to get out of New York. I got to go, you know, where there's really a lot of snow. Well, he turns out there's going to be a ski race. And Jonah wants pictures. And Mary Jane, who has absolutely apparently nothing else to do.
Just hanging out in the bugle.
She's just hanging out at the bugle. I guess she just follow, you know, and see, here's funny. She's there in the office with Jonah and Robbie. And then Jonah is calling Peter on the intercom. Peter's not even in the room. What's Mary Jane doing in the room with Jonah and Robbie? And Peter's not there. It's like, oh, I don't know if I want to know, to be honest. Maybe Casada was right about her.
Rats, I had a date with Mary Jane tonight.
Yeah, Rats, I had a date with Mary Jane.
By the way, thank you, Tyler. He says, I can't stay long, but love you guys. Continue to keep it real. Appreciate all the laughs you've given me over the years. Thank you, Tyler. That's really nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
So anyway,
let's go to the ski race.
Spidey's going to the ski race, and Iceman is there, and he is acting like an asshole. You know.
You mean an ice hole? Come on. An ice hole. All right, I'll just take over. It's Spider History with Brad now. All right, so this ice hole is skiing down. Iceman may scare these people. Oh, you're back. You remember Johnny Dangerously? Do you remember Johnny Dangerously, the movie with Michael Keaton, aka Batman?
I've never seen that.
There's a gangster that said, "You freaking ice hole, ice."
I cannot be the only person who just walked off this. I can't be. Somebody else out there had to walk off the set at that terrible.
Risex says, "Get your dad back here, Spencer." JR's done. Please, Brad, stop. JR's walking off the set, says Zach. Oh my God.
Spencer,
somebody no prize this.
Spencer spent the first 18 years of his life living with me. I'm surprised he popped in. He usually wants nothing to do. It's like, oh my God, is my embarrassing old man?
I one-upped him in the dad joke department there.
Don't give this man any credit. Don't.
Martisex says, quote, "My father hung me up on a hook once. I love Johnny Dangerously." I do too. That's a good movie, man.
So Iceman is just acting like a jerk, and Spider-Man decides,
kick him in the ice.
Yeah, and
come on. This is my month, JR. There will be more, and this is the first one.
Boys and girls, going through these Spidey Super Stories, there are going to be a lot of bad jokes. None of them are as bad as what Brad will be saying, but
you bet your sweet ice.
Anyway.
Come on.
All right. Anyway, so Spider-Man decides he's gonna take the piss out of Iceman, and he throws a bunch of salt on him.
Yeah.
Melts the ice off. And Bobby, says, "Well, I've been a dick." And although
showed off.
Yeah, sorry. And then of course, that's just act one, but we have this cliffhanger. But then what happens is we, in a lot of the early issues, we had explanation of like Spider-Man, his costume, his powers, or whatever. Well, we get a little how Spider-Man, what he does with his webbing.
He plops.
Well, and he has done the web hammock more than once.
He has. Even in Homecoming, he made a web hammock. Remember that?
That's right, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it was it when he was trapped in that the vault or whatever, when he was
he got caught. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so all of a sudden, you know, a catastrophe is about to happen. You know, this this tram is coming down, the line's about to break, and they're so far away. Spider-Man, his webs won't go that far. They won't stick to snow. So although I don't know why he thought he could swing off a tree. But okay, sure, why not?
Come on, Spider friends, go for it. Come on.
But fortunately, Iceman is there, and Iceman can make skis. And
yes, he can.
Unfortunately, Spidey doesn't have very good luck to begin with. But so they get going. They get to the tram.
You missed the good part where Iceman tells them to use the pole. Use the pole to push yourself. So that's how.
Okay.
There you go.
So anyway, so Spidey goes back and forth, slides back and forth while he webs up the where the line is about to break, and webs it up and keeps it from breaking. And they bring the car back down, and they part ways. Hope we meet again. Iceman, Bobby says, "Well, I have this idea of a TV show." I have this idea of a TV show that because it was supposed to be the Human Torch, but because his rights were at CBS at the time, they had to come up with. So I'm the guy. So now all we got to do is get a hot redhead. Well, of course, Peter Parker didn't get photo opportunities, but he did get a cold. The
end. All right. Time to talk to Morgan Freeman.
All right, the Easy Reader, and I don't know how many of you have seen these, but Easy Reader was a cool guy. He had a jean jacket.
Yeah, baby.
He was, I mean, he sauntered in like he owned the joint. He was gangsta before gangsta was popular.
Spencer, I'm sorry.
But anyway, usually for the first 20, 30 issues or whatever, the Spidey Super Stories would adopt one of these episodes that was on the Electric Company. So like the first one that I ever saw was Spider-Man Meets the Fly, which was not the Fly in the annual, but and how Spidey Super Stories worked was like, and a good example is like in the Fly, he had this cauldron and he had a bag and he said, "I'm going to put fleas in it." And like you would see FL in the E's, it would like the FL would be the, and he'd dump them in there, and then flies. And so that's how you learn. But anyway, this bookworm is not Roddy McDowell, just so you know. Anyway, so the bookworm is chewing holes in the library books. They were a fairly innocuous, harmless group of villains. Fortunately,
let me get to them. There we go. There they are. They're like little snakes.
Yeah. So he's chomping the books, and I mean, you just can't. I mean, what the heck is a public library going to do if the bookworm goes through all the books and eats holes in them? I mean, it's. But fortunately, Spider-Man decides that, superpowers, even though he's got superpowers and even though he's got webbing, that he needs the help of Easy Reader and some other chick to throw books at the bookworm. And
fire.
Yeah. So they throw books at the bookworm, and Spidey and Easy Reader, hey man, they slap each other, just like,
hey, far out, Spidey, far out, brother.
And Spider-Man, and he decides to help out restacking the books. Will the book-biting beast return? Only time. No, none of these villains ever returned. Never returned. So,
but she returns as Spider-Woman in a future issue. And I think she was.
I vaguely remember that. Now, we're not talking about Spider-Woman in the Spider-Verse or anything like that.
Well, they're saying this might have been the inspiration of Spider-Woman in the Spider-Verse, is this character in Spidey Super Stories. So, anyway. We got more. We got Rhino.
We usually had about three. We usually had about 3 stories. Actually, so we have the Rhino, and what's happening now is that they're on a movie set, and this is where the character that Rita Moreno played, I think she was often the movie director, and she shouted into her megaphone. I think this was her, but anyway, so she's making a movie, and she's got this big blob of Jello. I don't know why.
Jello. Okay, there's the Jello.
Now, of course, Spidey, he's had a tough few days.
He's soaking his feet. Oh yeah, he just came back from the skiing.
The skis. So continuity. Spidey Super Stories has its own tightly woven continuity. This
is more than modern day Marvel.
I was about to say there's more continuity in these. Well, of course, they're filming a movie, and the Rhino is a character in it. The Rhino, of course, is played by J. Arthur Crank, who was one of the.
By the way, again, this is a suit. Unlike the Craven movie trailer, he doesn't turn into a Rhino. He puts on a suit.
I haven't watched that thing, and I refuse to. I don't care. I don't care. You know.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, the J. Arthur Crank was a recurring Electric Company character, and a lot of the other Electric Company characters, some of them were like from Second City. I mean, they were all, they were all actors, comedians, whatever. They all had stage presence, and they were all professional. So, like I said, it wasn't Electric Company was a professional job. So anyway, so Crank's playing the Rhino, but the real Rhino shows up now. With
the pimp chain, like Zach said. Where was the pimp? Somebody said pimp chain. He's Rhino with a pimp chain.
Yeah, well, he always has to know how to spell his name, I think, all the time. Of course,
dare they make a Rhino movie? I'll teach Sony a lesson.
Yeah.
He's reading a Sony script in 1974.
Yeah, I wonder if this would have started. Yeah, I was about to.
Without me, the Rhino. I just hope making.
Yeah. Usually the villains had far tamer motivations in Spidey Super Stories than the regular comics.
All right. So more about the web wonders here.
Yeah, more about how Spidey uses his webs. So Spidey,
thick webs spring back like rubber bands. Okay, well, he's used that trick a few times, even in movies, like a slingshot.
Yeah, and he's shut up Jonah more than once as well.
Yes, yep. All right,
he did it in the first Sam Raimi movie. So there we go.
Hey, you guys. Back to the Pimp Rhino. Yeah.
Hey, you guys. Okay, that was Rita Moreno's character. So so Spidey's going to be in this movie too, but now it turns out that it's not the fake Rhino; it's the real Rhino. And Spidey realizes that he is just in some serious trouble now. But
also lost his voice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He had to write it up here. I lost my voice. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, how long did it take him to do that too? When the right.
I don't know.
It's kind of like when, in the comics or whatever, like an action scene is happening and somebody is narrating it, but by the time they would actually have gotten done with it, whatever happened would have happened. The person would have fallen to their death or whatever. So anyway, well, of course, what's Spidey do? He tries to web up the Rhino. Then J. Arthur Crank shows up. And they find out, oh my God, it's not J. Arthur Crank in the costume. It's a real Rhino. We are in some serious stuff here. I have to say stuff.
This is PBS G-rated. This is some serious stuff.
This is PBS, so I can't use profanity. It's stuff, and so what they do is they lead the Rhino because, see, the Spidey Super Stories was ahead of its time. You see, because like in the current Spider-Man can't solve his own problems. He has to have somebody else's help to do it. So in Spidey Super Stories, he can't solve his own problems. He has to have the cast of the Electric Company help him. So
AKA the Avengers of PBS. Yeah.
There we go. They lead
Electric
the Rhino
Company symbol,
lead the Rhino into that big glob and getting.
Oh my God, that does not look good. What the heck, JR?
Well, I don't know what you're thinking, Brad. Why don't you tell us what you're thinking?
Oh, I'm not thinking nothing, brother. Let's move on.
Do we need to go back to this and talk about
we do not need to go back to the sex education.
All right. Well, whatever the Rhino's doing in that giant glob of KY jelly, we'll leave that for We'll leave that for other people to figure out.
I can't. I gotta go on. Here's cooking with you, Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's always usually a bad joke or whatever with at the end. So, but there were no ads in this. I mean, so there were no ads in it. So cover to cover, it was an illustration of some kind. The back page, season's greetings from Marvel Comics and and now all these kids, they were a group called the Short Circus because electricity, short circuits. So the rock band of kids is called the Short Circus. So anyway, that was issue number 6.
Poor Rhino. How did he ever get out of that?
Yeah, well, it was. I was about to say he's going to be very uncomfortable getting out of that. Not only that, but he's going to have a lot of explaining to do to Mrs. Rhino.
Rhino with the pimp chain. And okay, we're moving on.
All right.
Rhino
moving on to issue number 25.
25. All right, here we go, boys.
Now this, boys and girls.
They've made action figures out of Webman.
I did not remember at the time that this is where Webman came from.
Me neither.
Because I was in what I was going to do for this episode was they came out with a Funko of Webman, and I remembered it.
A legend, a Marvel Legend too.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember.
No,
but I saw the
Marvel Legend.
I saw the Funko Pop, and of course I sent a picture to Spencer. Hey, you seen this? No. No, I don't have it. So so okay, so. And then when Brad gave me his stories, I saw this, I said, oh man, I got to go back and get that Funko Pop. Well, guess what? They had Sold 2 out. Rows of Webman Funko Pops, all of them gone,
Well, but you probably find one on eBay. You probably find
but there's plenty of Spider Bite still left.
From probably the only Spider Super Stories figure is Webman.
Webman. So,
and anyway, what a simple design.
if you were going past your, if you were going to your newsstand, because this is the 70s, folks, comic shop, specialty stores, few and far between. And so if you were walking by your local newsstand and you saw this, it's like, oh my God, red and blue Spidey and blue and red Spidey. I
gotta get it.
Gotta have this. And besides, like every issue, Easy Reader has certified it's easy to read. But okay,
Morgan Freeman says it's easy to read.
The voice of God says it's easy to read. Trust him. Well, we know Dr. Doom's going to be the bad guy, so we open up,
make
room for Dr. Doom.
Yes, sir.
And Dr. Doom just wants to be loved because he says, "My people love me, or else soon the whole world will love me. I'm just too good to be true."
I'm too good. Isn't that a song?
Yeah.
I'm too good to be true.
No, let's not do it.
I can't keep Doom off my.
All right. So anyway, we
go like Latveria.
All right.
Okay. Let's go to Webman.
This is the guy who's always hurrying me along.
By the way,
when I'm going into great detail in the stories, yet he wants to delay the program by
Hornacek says 37 minutes for one issue. This episode will be 2.5 hours.
Well, if Brad tries his bad Perry Como imitation too many more times, yeah.
So Brad sings again. Everyone take a shot, baby. Yep.
Anyway, so with this punch, you'll really see double. He's as strong as I am, but his jokes, like Brad's, are worse.
I'm Webman, and you're Spider-Man. Okay, I see how this is going. All right. How do we get the origin of Webman? All right, here we go.
All right. Well, of course, Dr. Doom, he's up to no good. Spidey sense goes off and, he crashes through and he said, there's nothing here but just a mirror. Well, Dr. Doom is behind that mirror, and he uses this to create a duplicate. And then he has some cereal, but he only has Snap
by the
Crackle.
Power of Rice Krispies. He transports them to Latveria.
Not Pop for some reason. And see, that's why Webman later is not as strong as he could be. And that's why he has a limited lifespan, because it's just Snap and Crackle.
If he had a pop, he'd be stronger than Spider-Man.
So, you're going to get a bargain basement Spider-Man when you don't have pop. Yeah, the first Clone Saga. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, this is the first Clone Saga.
There you go. There you go.
Honestly, is 74 beat the regular Clone Saga, or is this about the same time for the Clone Saga?
Oh, wow. It's getting close, but I think this predated it.
This predates? Okay.
I don't know for sure. I'm sure that Hornacek will tell us within the next 5 minutes.
Zach's in chat too. Zach can tell us.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, of course.
He will be evil.
If anybody knows about he will be evil. And, so he's going to go, first he's got to destroy Spider-Man.
All right. That's your first job.
Yeah. And then he's got to rob a few banks and things and cars and things of that nature. Doom, Dr. Doom. First, go back a page where Dr. Doom does a
face palm.
Face palm.
You got a bad deal when Dr. Doom face palms.
Yeah. It's kind of telegraphing that Webman's going to have some problems. Dr. Doom.
There we go. Zach confirms it. This predates the original Clone Saga.
All right.
Webman is the first clone of Peter Parker. Here we go.
All right.
The first Clone Saga.
Well, of course, he's making trouble. And we actually have a guest appearance, not only by Mary Jane, but one of the very, very few guest appearances by someone who looks like Harry Osborn.
It looks like it's got to be him.
It's got to be Harry, but man, his hair looks.
By the way, one thing that upset me with Spidey Super Stories, if I had one critique, Spider-Man does not thwip in this universe. He zips. When every time you never see a thwip, it's always a zip. I don't know if they changed that because zip kids didn't know what thwips meant.
Well, I think it was a reminder. We're talking about small kids here, right?
Yeah,
so it was a reminder for them to check their pants to make sure that their pants were, when basically that was the thing. When Spider-Man goes zip, check your pants. Yeah, hey, thanks, Spider-Man. There we go.
You did not just look down at your crotch and say, "Oh man." All right, let's keep going.
Yep.
All right, Webman has a bag of money.
But they stopped that because too many kids were hurting themselves, by zipping too fast. But okay, now Spider-Man has met Webman, and they call him Webby for short.
Okay.
I mean, they don't call him Webby for nothing. So they go through a few issues, punching each other back and forth, and Dr. Doom creates.
Let me get to the Dr. Doom. Okay, they're punching each other. They're punching.
Well, and Dr. Doom figures
where's the smokestack? Smokestack? No.
He needs to up the odds. So what does Dr. Doom do? He creates another Webman.
Not another clone.
Another Webman. This was before even that classic scene where Peter, Ben Reilly, and then the Peter Parker who became Spider-Side. This predated it by 20 years. Yeah. Spider-Man and 2 clones. So the Electric Company was very omniscient. Well,
they were. Okay, so he webs up Dr. Doom, goes to jail.
Anyway, then he breaks the mirror. He breaks the mirror, and the Webmen disappear. And he webs up Dr. Doom to take him to jail. Now, I'm sure there's a little problem with diplomatic immunity here, but we don't get into that kind of thing for Spidey.
Nah, that's too much, man. All right, let's learn about Impy.
Yeah, the Impossible Man. For those of you probably know, the Impossible Man is a minor recurring character in Fantastic Four from the planet Pop-Up. He's a very juvenile character because I think he first appeared in Fantastic Four #4. So he goes back a long way. And he's not really evil, but he's a mischief maker. He's he's like Mr. Mxyzptlk if Mr. Mxyzptlk were seasick.
Yep.
So he's always causing trouble. And for whatever reason, the writers had a thing for the Impossible Man because he will show up again. All right. Next story. Because they were bored. Yeah, because they were running out of the like I said, there were about 29 of the Spider-Man episodes created for the Electric Company. Well, this is issue 25, so they were starting to run out of them. So then we got these original stories, which again, they guest starred the Electric Company. Spider-Man, Rita Moreno wants him to be in a movie. And this movie, actually, this is about, I think, the same time Rocky is coming out. I don't know.
By the way, look at Spidey over here. Look at this.
Yeah, he's. And this is before.
Well, we have a correction in chat. Zach says this came out in August of '77. Clone Saga, October '75. Clone Saga was first. Oh, I thought we were on to something, man. No, Zach, this is the second Clone Saga. Then
you let us down, Zach. You let us down.
Damn it, Zach.
We went out there with false information. Now we're going to have
All right.
Anyway, Rocco. So
Rocco.
Yeah. So this is a boxing movie. So Spider-Man thinks he's going to be a movie star, but it turns out he's just really going to be the stunt man. So, instead of the actor getting spaghetti thrown on him, Spidey gets spaghetti thrown on him.
He becomes a prostitute.
I must have done something wrong. Karma, it can only be karma coming back for me. I don't know if Spencer's still there. Maybe it's because I raised Spencer wrong. This is it.
Prostitute.
I'm having to pay for the sin for my poor raising of my son.
Keep going. We get Spider-Man with spaghetti on his head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then there's a boxing scene. Spider-Man has to be the double in the boxing scene. Gets punched, and he just decides he's going to quit movies, be a superhero, because doing movies are too much.
By the way, hold on. Does he put a mask on his mask? Is that
what
he does?
Well, yeah, he does. I mean,
so he's double masking it.
Yeah, he's double masking it, but he doesn't put anything over his shirt. So not really sure what the point was there. Venkman, I would if I could.
What is Venkman saying? I didn't see the chat. What is he saying?
He was asking me to.
Can you smack me for? No, man, come on. Oh my gosh.
Actually, that
prostitute joke.
George's. That's usually George's job to smack Brad.
Get out of here, Brad. Grown. Why, Brad?
Well, the next story is an Impossible Man story.
Okay.
Which, typical Spidey Super Stories. He's just making mischief all over the place, and Spidey has to stop him.
Jonathan said that joke was so bad he blacked out for a few seconds. Okay, so Spider-Man and Impossible Man. What do? We fight. Just a bunch of shenanigans.
Yeah, and then in the end, we all decide that we're all going to get along. We're all going to kumbaya. Impy is going to. He's going to, because Impy can turn himself into anything he wants. So he's going to turn himself into a big green car, Okay. Yeah, this green is
there's your big green car.
Yeah. Unlike the Wiggles.
We're going to go around and look at the zoo.
Yeah. Impy's a real hero, and this is fun. Now, if you wondered where Brad gets some of his jokes, next page,
the wit.
This is a recurring feature. The wit of the web slinger.
Or the webmaster, baby.
Why would someone throw a clock out the window to see time fly?
Hell yeah, Spider-Man. You aren't a dad, but those are dad jokes.
Send me your riddles or jokes. We'll print the worst ones. If Brad had been able to write by this time,
if I could write in a year before I was born, I would do it.
If he was able to write instead of using finger paints or watercolors, he would have sent in some. So that was issue number 20, and it's fun. Poppy says it's fun to read Spidey Super Stories,
and you get a Spidey stamp.
You get a Spidey stamp, just like
you do,
just like the regular Marvel comics at the time, which came with Marvel value stamps.
Look at this, JR. Back in, what is it, 77? You could get 12 issues, a full year of Spidey Super Stories for $4.50. That's cheaper than some comics, a single book in 2023.
and that was expensive back then because you know, issue number 25 of Spidey Super Stories was, wait a minute, that was issue 25. Where's issue number 6? Oh,
by the way, teachers bulk rates. You could buy these and hand them out to kids. I would love that.
Yeah, 35 cents. They were 35 cents out of the box, and I think at the time regular comics were like a quarter or so. So because of no ads, you had to. Because of no ads, you had to pay more for Spidey Super Stories.
That's fine, man.
To get your fix, you had to fork over that extra dime. All right.
Are you ready for some Hulk? Some Spidey and Hulk action. The two biggest stars on television in the 70s right now. Spidey Super Stories, number 33. The Hulk cracks up.
Yeah. But first, we're going to meet one of Peter's pals.
Okay, let's meet his pals.
And we're going to meet Mary Jane, one of Peter's pals, Peter Parker's pals. I was thinking something else that began with a P, Peter Parker. But anyway, so
G-rated. It's the Goblin.
Sorry, Mary Jane, I've got to run. Yeah. But so he always runs off, but he keeps me guessing. But I still like him, isn't that? All right. Well, talk about something now. Now we're going to go to a story about somebody with a real inferiority complex here, and that is the Incredible Hulk.
Heck yeah!
All right, because Peter and Mary Jane are at a carnival, and usually, and all those booths, and this is anytime I would go to the fair, you know, and like my wife or one of the kids would want to go to one of these booths, I would try to talk them out of it because they're all scams.
Oh,
they're all rigged. You don't win, you know, except maybe they let some fool win, you know, some prize so he can walk around and go, hey, look what I got. Then you go and play and you don't win nothing. But
look what you can win at the carnival. You could win Raggedy Ann and Andy or knock off Spider-Man and Hulk dolls over here. Is Peter trying to win a Spider-Man doll for Mary Jane? Is that what he's trying to do?
I don't know. I didn't think he tried licensing until issue 185 of Amazing, but you know, what do I know? But Peter uses his spider strength to knock everything down and win. And the Carnies, the Carnies are going to pull their hair out because what went wrong? You're supposed to cheat. Well, I don't know how he did it. Boys, this is proof. They're rigged. Don't go to these fairs and play these stupid ass games. They're rigged.
Look at this. Mary Jane's got a handful of amigos right there.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
But the thing is, everybody's having a good time at the carnival. Well, somebody out there with a real bad insecurity thinks everybody is laughing at him, even though nobody can see him. He can't see anybody else. He thinks everyone's laughing at him.
By the way, Winnipeg says JR ranting about carnival games. This is why what Spider history is all about.
They're rigged. Don't play them. You know, don't play them. Don't give these crooked carnies your money.
Yep. And don't listen to platform wearing aliens that say to have unsafe sex.
Now that was 2 months. That was 2 months ago.
2 months ago. Sorry.
Nobody's going to remember that, Brad. You know, least of all you.
I know. Shut up.
Well, yeah. Mary Jane, is that you? Oh no, I'm right here. You know, she didn't. Obviously, she's not with him for his brains. And this is
look at Hulk.
The Hulk shows up.
Doing his best Kane impression, watching him.
Yeah, you know the Hulk is peeping.
Peeping Hulk,
you know.
Incredible peeping Hulk.
And what's funny is a big 7-foot-tall green monster shows up, and Peter abandons his girlfriend. All right,
Peter, where are you?
The next page, I have to get away from Mary Jane. You're going to say, I can imagine you'll be saying that a lot more in the future, and the Hulk won't be involved. But anyway, so hey, go back. It's like Mary Jane is saying, "Boy, I hope Peter got out all right."
Well, I don't. Where?
Yeah, the next page. Okay, first panel.
Am I going too far?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
I hope Peter got out all right. There you are.
In other words, he just abandoned you. He ran away. The big 7-foot green monster attacks and your boyfriend runs away and you hope he's all right.
Oh,
now,
McNulty, that's again, a good one. Too bad Peter
again,
cheated at a rigged game.
Yeah. But I guess this proves that Mary Jane, even in Spidey Super Stories, always knew that Peter was Spider-Man. Ah, well. So, well, of course,
can't hurt anyone.
Yeah, the Hulk, the Hulk's having a temper tantrum, smashing things and breaking things. People laugh at Hulk. So we go through, we go through your typical superhero.
Wait, cut this out of this page.
Superhero, supervillain shenanigans. Oh yeah, you got yours from the same place I got mine, Brad.
Yeah.
Who the mysterious Cedar cut out Spider-Man.
I know, right?
Panels. Yeah. Well,
we're gonna confuse Hulk with some mirrors. All right.
Yeah. Now you all remember what an intellect the Hulk was during the 1970s. So he's really confused by seeing multiple images of himself. Spider-Man finds some laughing gas. Hulk starts laughing, and he finally gets the joke. Hulk laugh at himself. You put good joke on Hulk.
Green screen.
Everything is forgiven.
Then the next day, hey, let's go to the carnival again. That was so fun, Mary Jane.
Yeah, let's see what in what way can I abandon you now? Maybe for a, I don't know, maybe somebody in a skimpy cat costume will show up and I'll abandon you for
Hulk's
that.
Favorite carnival.
Yep. Maybe even a monster can laugh sometimes.
Oh, wow. End.
And then if you didn't know the origin of the Hulk.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to find out the origin right here.
There you go.
Yep.
Doc Bruce Banner, pelted by
David
gamma
Banner.
rays.
Physician, scientist.
That I did expect you to remember. Dr.
David Banner, physician, scientist.
Yep. And why was he David Banner? Because Kenneth Johnson didn't like alliterative
was
names.
A gay sounding name.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't like alliterative sounding names. He didn't understand, so he just.
Let me see if I can get it. Dr. David Banner, a physician scientist, trying to tap into the hidden strengths that all humans have. And then there's one night an accidental overdose of gamma radiation altered his body's chemistry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And something. And to the world he must believe that he's dead. Something like, I can't get the end of it. I got the front end of it.
Well, it's the incredible for what, 3 years or so. That was actually a pretty good show, but it kind of it ran out of gas pretty quickly.
Yeah, I still loved it though as a kid.
Yeah. And Bill Bixby's anguished delivery every week. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Great.
He brought
the hitchhiking at the end with the Lonely Man theme song.
Like The Fugitive, like David Jansen, every episode of The Fugitive, he's always back on the road. But to show you, this is the thing. Again, CBS, or actually I should say Kenneth Johnson, who was the producer. I mean, he took the Hulk seriously. Sometimes too seriously, to be honest, because it got a little dull after a while. But Bill Bixby was a very prominent television actor in those days. He'd been on several series.
My Favorite Martian and what's that one where he had a kid?
The Courtship of Eddie's Father.
That's it.
The Courtship.
Oh, Vickman says you were quoting the '60s show. Can you do the origin, the '60s theme song? Dr. Banner.
Doc Bruce Banner, pelted by gamma rays, changes to the Hulk. Glamorous. I can't do the rest, but the Hulk jumps.
Love it.
Yeah, and I remember that because one year for some little boy's birthday, we pretty well had a Hulk themed birthday, and that was one of the gifts was a Hulk cartoon DVD. So. But even as bad as that was, I don't know if it's as bad as Captain America throwing his mighty shield. All right. Anyway,
here comes the kangaroo. We're hopping into this one.
So like I said, we're 30-something issues into Spidey Super Stories. We've ran out of all the electric company things. And in fact, I think, what is this? Is this 1978? I think.
77, 78. Yeah.
So this is 78. So the electric company has been canceled. No new shows. So, but they're still doing. So they make up stories. They're still coming up with other stories. With
and the Hulk TV show is on the air.
Yeah,
Hulk TV show and the Spider-Man show. Nicholas Hammond's on the air at this point too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I always thought Nicholas Hammond was a good choice for Peter Parker. I really did.
Too.
The writing was, honest to God, it was like, it reminds me of a Stephen Colbert skit that Andrew Garfield actually appeared in, where he was trying to make a movie, and he wanted to make a movie, and he was soliciting ideas from like 7th graders. And that's an insult to the 7th graders, the quality of writing on that Spider-Man TV show. What a waste of a good actor. And I guess part of the problem is they only got the rights to Spider-Man and Jameson. I guess that must have been it, because they used no other characters.
Aunt May. Anyway,
that's right. But she only showed up twice, and then she referred to Peter's Uncle Max.
Yeah, Uncle Max.
Yeah. Because there was no Uncle Ben origin story. Anyway, the kangaroo. He's in the park watching the short circus, saying, and he hates them. Everybody loves a short circus. Not me. I hate them. And I'm hopping mad. I guess, Australians are notoriously ill-tempered, I suppose. Away from their natural environment. That's why after a few years in America, they have to go back. Like Hugh Jackman, he had to go back. Chris Weathers had to go back. They got to go back, kind of like Spock. They got to go back to their native land and spawn. So they leave, they make it in Hollywood, make a few bucks, then they go back to Australia.
By the way, the kangaroo hates everything.
Yeah, he's just what do they call? It's not a misogynist, iconoclast or something. But anyway, it's because everybody thought he was weird. He's weird. Yeah, go to the next. They tell his origin story.
Oh, okay. Let's get because we're one here. Here
yeah,
he is.
there we go.
Back in Australia, weird. I didn't have any friends. He's weird.
Yeah, why
during the vacations, I lived in kangaroo country.
Yeah, this is fun. I mean, nothing messy like in the real comic books where there might be potions or scientists. In fact, I think in the comics it was Dr. Jonas Haro, wasn't it, who gave the kangaroo his. But here in Spidey Super Stories, he just hangs out with kangaroos and just hops with kangaroos. And Spidey captures him, and instead of jail, they put him in the zoo where he is just having a good old time.
He's hoppy there.
All right. No, he's happy there. He's happy there.
He's hoppy.
No.
Hoppy.
All right. Let's go to the grand garbage can.
With some helicopters and Aunt May.
Well, yeah, Peter and Aunt May are at the Grand Canyon. All right. Because, if I were to take a road trip from New York to the Southwest, I would want no other company other than an old lady who I had to stop every half hour to let her go pee. That sounds like a fun road trip, so he's showing her the Grand Canyon, and but Aunt May notices the helicopters, and they're dumping garbage in the Grand Canyon.
Can you imagine that happening today? Can you imagine?
This is
just people polluting inside.
Where's the Sierra Club when you need them? Holy cow! Where's the EPA? I
better turn into Spider-Man to stop this dumping.
He better change to Spider-Man. But see, the thing is, though, the evil villain behind this is smart, because he's put these huge postcards all over the Grand Canyon. So when people go to the Grand Canyon, they won't realize that it's just a dump, because he's got all these pictures and mirages. So Spider-Man looks behind one.
The Grand Canyon's a dump.
There's all the garbage.
Look at all those postcards.
Yeah. And Spider-Man saying, boy, there's more garbage here than there is in up in Mount Everest, where everybody dumps their empty oxygen bottles and and human waste lays up there forever, along with dead bodies and all kinds of other stuff. That's there you go, bucket list. I want to go up. I want to go to Mount Everest, see all the dead bodies, see all the human waste that's frozen, and all the other stuff. But anyway.
Someone's turning this into a garbage canyon, not the Grand Canyon. Oh,
yeah. And you notice he's with Aunt May, but Aunt May does not ask she doesn't even notice that Peter's gone.
And she says Spider-Man is not. What is he doing out of New York City? And there's no one else.
She doesn't question that he's there.
She has something wrong with her.
Yeah,
we're gonna put a lid on Spider-Man.
But is he going to get out of this one? It's a giant garbage can lid, isn't it?
Let's see if Oscar the Grouch
Now, fortunately, he's going to go find the super litter bug. Who would make? See, Aunt May is just offended. Aunt May just, cannot believe that somebody is making this mess. Well, this is a job.
I can lift this with my spider strength, Aunt May.
This is a job for Spider-Man, and we find out that it's an old villain, the Schemer.
Schemer.
As you know,
boys, is that a real villain? I don't know this guy.
Oh no. Everybody, let's just kind of just pity Brad.
Who's the Schemer? Is he the one from the first? Did I kill JR? What?
No, I bet if Spencer is still there, he knows who the Schemer is.
Now, is he the one from the first magazine? Is he the one from the first magazine?
No.
Who is the Schemer? Help me.
Don't you remember? The Schemer was really Richard Fisk in disguise.
Oh, okay. So he's Kingpin's kid. Okay.
In the 80s, the Schemer was an identity that Richard Fisk assumed to try to bust up the Kingpin's crime empire. And at the end of the story,
the Schemer coming from Sony Pictures in 2024.
Well, I guess since they just pushed back the Bad Bunny movie, I guess they have to have somebody to replace him.
I got
so
you.
the schemer is like, well, I can't bust up Dad's crime organization anymore. So I'll come up with a new plan. I'll dump garbage in the Grand Canyon. Then I'll buy it back cheap. And then I'll take out the garbage and put condos. I don't know, but
I'll put condos in the Grand Canyon.
So that's what kind of, but Spider-Man's able to quit. See, and Aunt May is just hanging around. Spider-Man, how is Aunt May going? I mean, what is Spider-Man like picking her up and carrying her everywhere? She shows up wherever he is. It's like Spider-Man swings up, then there's Aunt May again. It's like, where the hell is this old lady coming from?
All right.
But the scheme, he finds the Schemer pretty easily because
his mailbox has the Schemer on it.
Well, Spider-Man is not fooled by the fact that it's S. Keemer. He's too smart for that. And boys and girls who were reading this, as they were learning to read, they probably figured it out too and yelled to Spidey, "Hey, Spider-Man,
he lives there.
Schemer. It's the bad guy. Hey!" So.
Okay, all right. Schemer's
so
mailbox.
Anyway, well, of course, the Schemer's hideout. Spidey busts into the Schemer's hideout. And
what's up with the push here? Is that like a wastebasket on top of his house?
It could be. This is a garbage themed story. It very likely is.
He does say nice dump you have here, Schemer. There they
Oh no, Spidey must have stopped at the bathroom first, and the Schemer didn't flush.
Nice dump.
The Schemer didn't flush, everybody. Not only does he leave garbage in the Grand Canyon, but he doesn't flush the toilet after himself.
Pardon my Spidey trash bags, boys. Zip, zip.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
here we go.
The Schemer, he comes up with a giant buzzing fly or whatever.
God, I love JR. I love this segment. This is great.
Well, Spidey breaks the,
we're gonna
Spidey
bust up this little. Jeez. Oh, he creates.
He makes a fly swatter. He takes a telephone pole and he webs a big square and he makes a giant fly swatter.
Fly swatter.
Now he doesn't do anything like web it and pull it down. He takes the time and the effort to create a giant fly swatter, swats it. Well, the thing is, though, now the schemer wants to be friends. Spidey, why can't we be pals? I see.
Why can't we be pals? There's fun in the life of crime.
And of course, Spidey says, only my greatest enemies call me Spidey. So the schemer has clearly crossed the line here. All right.
I better get back to Aunt May. Oh, Peter, you missed all the excitement.
Yeah, it's like, wait, you obviously didn't notice that he was gone at the time. Peter goes away, Spider-Man shows up, Aunt May doesn't notice anything,
By the way, where did all the trash go? I mean, how long that's going to take to get out of there? Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't know if I was about to say, probably Iron Ice Cody is standing out off to the side with a single tear in his eye,
Oh my God. Let's see what we got next. Oh,
the wit of the web
Here we go, JR. Here we go.
When should you give elephant milk to a baby? When the baby is an elephant. As they said, send us your riddles and jokes. We'll print
the worst ones. Wit of the Web Slinger, care of Marvel Comics, 575 Madison Avenue, New York, 10.
And now now this is partly part of Brad's origin story.
Absolutely.
He got all these issues. He stocked up on all the jokes, and now he's spitting them out.
Jokes. So can you imagine the artist who's like, all right, we got this kid wrote in, we got to draw it. So I want you to draw an elephant and a baby carriage. All right. Yes.
All right. Now, next issue number 39. I think, the last page was.
By the way, hey, don't forget your little Hulk reading at the back.
That's right. And the Hulk
stamp.
The Hulk
stamp. Yeah. There you go.
Although I don't think the Hulk could actually read. I mean, I don't think he was a particularly literate character during the 1970s.
Probably
but
we'll
let that pass. Yeah. All right, boys and girls.
Pull the other one up.
Yeah. This is the issue you've been waiting for. Not quite the story, but this is the issue we've been. And this is a very topical issue.
It is. Yep. There you go.
All
39.
Right. Yeah.
Of Thanos.
Yeah. But we're not going to meet Thanos yet. We're going to meet Mastermind.
Okay, let's meet Mastermind here.
Meet the mad chemist who makes special sodas for his diabolical schemes. Yeah. All right.
As I take one of his drinks.
Yeah. So he's done something with the Cokes, the drinks, soft drinks. So, he's up to no good. Well, boys and girls, it is the 1970s. Remember?
It's Women's Day.
The Women's Day March, 1979.
All right.
Women are marching. Women's rights, down with the patriarchy. And, take a look at this blonde reporter with Peter Parker. Yeah, she's going to be very important later on.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled, boys and girls. So anyway, So it's the Women's March, and Peter is taking pictures. And the Mastermind has disguised himself as the Monopoly Man. And
let's take a look at him.
And he's selling sodas. All right. Now, we meet a character called Stella Bella. Stella Bella, who is probably a knockoff of Bella Abzug. Bella Abzug was a famous feminist, along with Gloria Steinem back in the 1970s. So that's probably what Stella Bella is based on. Well, the schemer, gosh darn it, the schemer's on my brain. The Mastermind is quite the misogynist, because after they go back, they get sodas from him, and they go back shouting "women's rights" This soda should quiet them down. Them women.
Them women. Oh my.
And speaking of liberated women,
we got Mary MJ with the Stella Bella poster.
Who has a Stella Bella women's rights poster. You know, she's watching the parade on TV. And next panel, I hope Peter is watching this. He might learn something about women. By watching a parade, I guess. What's he going to learn, Mary Jane? You know, but actually, Mary Jane, if you really want him to learn something about women, give him a copy of this. You know.
Oh God! All right,
or you know, or if you want to learn something about women, learn it the way we did in Southern Indiana. You know, the older kids had Playboys and penthouses in the back of the bus. That's what told us. That was our first exposure to women. Anyway, well, all of a sudden everybody's starting to fall asleep. All these women are starting to fall asleep. You know.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm hot and I'm thirsty. That's a new meaning in 2023.
Well, keep it to yourself, little boy.
50 cent, please.
Anyway, all of these people, all these women are starting to fall asleep. He's squelching their voices. You know, he's silencing their voices. You know,
no.
Well, this blonde chick ain't going to put up with any of that. You know, she's going to become Ms. Marvel. Now, remember, boys and girls, Carol Danvers was originally introduced as Ms. Marvel because, as you recall, for those of us who lived in the 1970s, the feminists decided that, you had Mr. and you identified as men, and then you identified women as Miss or Mrs. Well, Miss, you said somebody was Miss somebody when they weren't married, Mrs. somebody when they were. Well, the women of the 1970s decided that was sexist. And you shouldn't be able to tell whether or not a woman is married by her pronoun. I don't know what it was. It's not a pronoun, but article or whatever. Yeah. So they came up with Ms. M.S. period. Ms. And that you knew when a woman called herself Ms. that she was liberated. And Ms. Marvel is liberated.
That is Brie Larson herself, right there.
So later, because see, we have Captain Marvel too at this time, and Captain Marvel is Marvel and Rick Jones. This is before he gets cancer and dies, and we find out Reed Richards is so stupid he can't cure cancer, but he can do everything else in the Marvel universe. But he's too stupid to cure cancer. So he dies, and Ms. Marvel says, "Well, this is my big chance." So she becomes Captain Marvel, and later then what? She becomes binary, and then let's see, what is it? Does she get sexually assaulted by an alien and gives birth to her own? I don't know.
Avengers 200,
yeah. So,
let's just go on.
And then she's going to find a Pakistani girl to take over the Ms. Marvel name for her, who's going to have the lowest rated television show in Disney Plus history.
All right.
So they're going to
Ms. Marvel history.
They're going to team her up with Brie Larson, who was so unpopular she didn't get a Captain Marvel too. So boys and girls,
and then they're going to put her in Amazing Spider-Man, and tune in tomorrow. You will find out what happens to her in Amazing Spider-Man number 26. All right, zip. Let's go.
Anyway,
heading straight for the jail.
All right. So okay,
Soda Man.
Spidey's after the Soda Man. Ms. Marvel is after the Soda Man. And here we go with one of the great up.
Which one?
Here we go with our jokes now. Hang on, next page.
Okay.
If you thought Brad's jokes, that's the last straw. He's throwing straws.
That's the last straw. Good night, Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Hey, those are my wheels.
The mastermind steals the wheels. And the next page, he squirts Ms. Marvel.
With some soda. There you go.
Right in your face. Squirts Ms. Marvel. Well,
all right. Mary Jane's watching this.
Mary Jane Watson is not going to take this line down. All right. This is just another plot to no, go back.
I'm sorry.
This is another plot to stop women. Stop women from doing what? I don't know, but it's a plot to stop
Here's
women.
one woman who's wide awake and ready to march, says Mary Jane.
What a woman. Peter doesn't deserve her, does he?
No.
Anyway, so the mastermind drops into his secret hideout in the Brooklyn Bridge. Of course, Ms. Marvel goes after him, finds his hidden lair, and he squirts her again.
Mind your manners, mastermind. Your soda has lost its pop.
And that's just a sample, boys and girls. Well, they want the cure for the sleep soda, but there is no cure. But finally, they finally take down the mastermind, and we find out that even though there's no cure, it just wears off in an hour. Everybody's fine. So what was the mastermind's plot? To put women to sleep for an hour. I guess he just got tired of them talking. Maybe that's
the man just wanted an hour.
He must have been married. He probably wasn't. He was probably married. So, and he couldn't live with it anymore. So he invented a soda to put her to sleep. And then he said, "Hey, what a great idea! I'll use this on all women that I get tired of."
Adam can't wait for the Soda Man movie and the El Muerto movie.
So Mary Jane shows up and gets everybody up and going and ready to march again. All right. And the story ends with Mary Jane and Bella, Stella, or whatever, chanting women's rights. Now, what rights are they asking for? I don't know. They're just going women's rights.
They want to be able to talk for an hour uninterrupted. That's what they want.
You could be a little bit more specific here. What do you want? Tell us what you want, right? But see, they expect us to read their minds. See, that's it. They're just saying women's rights because they expect men to be able to read their minds. And
JR, don't go off this. Let's move on. What's a cosmic cube?
No, wait a minute.
What's a cosmic cube?
No. Mary Jane tells Peter to join us. So that's a cliffhanger. Does Peter dare?
No, it's not. It says the end.
Does Peter dare join the women's march? Does he face Mary Jane's wrath for not doing it? Does he get canceled? Tune in next time.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. Hey, I was just wondering to myself, JR, what the hell's a cosmic cube?
What is the cosmic cube? Well, evil scientists, boys and girls, of course, you know who these evil scientists are. They're AIM. Advanced Idea Mechanics. But apparently the idea of supervillain team with an acronym was too much for the young audience learning to read. So they're just evil scientists who have created a cosmic cube that can do almost anything. And Thanos is going to use it to take over the world. Now here's the problem. What world do you want to take over, Thanos? It's like you come from Titan, which I'm assuming when Thanos was created, it really was the moon of Saturn. But so anyway, so Thanos is from outer space. He crossed the galaxy. He looks for gems and things of that nature. But he says he's going to use the cosmic cube to take over the world. Well, what world? He's a little bit specific here.
Earth, it looks like.
Anyway,
all right.
So now we have another Impossible Man story. And so for those of you, Kenneth Johnson, when he wasn't filming the Hulk series at this time, must have seen this and say, hey, I think I'll come up with an alien invasion show that starts out with an alien spaceship appearing in the sky. And of course, that became
he's referencing V.
That became the television series V.
I love Victory.
Which then Roland Emmerich, looking for ideas, said, hey, I'll use that, and I'll come up with the War of the Worlds on steroids, and I'll call it Independence Day.
I think I'll cast that kid from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to be my lead, too.
And then 25 years later, I'll do a sequel no one asked for.
Yep, it'll star Data from the Next Generation in it, too. Anyways, Peter is watching a baseball game.
Panicking. Yeah, he's watching a baseball game. But, they come on the news and, do not be afraid. The mayor has called a meeting. Okay. Well, that makes everybody, well, about what? I'm assuming
this is a job for Spider-Man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, this is like Spider-Man and Spidey Super Stories. Spidey handles everything. You know, there's no Avengers, no Iron Man. I mean, I guess we do see them in Spidey Super Stories, but you know, this is a job for them. Where's the Fantastic Four? You know, the Impossible Man is their guy, but you know, nope, this is a job for Spider-Man.
He says the aliens are coming, so in between the trade towers, he gets a welcome web for the aliens.
Too soon. Too soon.
I know, right?
Too soon.
Wow.
So he turns into a teacup, and he goes to a baseball game.
JR. He got teabagged right there. He got teabagged. Oh no.
Everybody waits while Brad gets this out of his system.
Okay, let's go. Spider-Man got teabagged, and then let's keep going.
Well, they go to the Mets game, and he turns in, and the Impossible Man turns into a ball. It must be a foul ball, but boom. And then the Impossible Man turns into a bat and bunks him on the head.
Yeah.
And then he turns into another kind of bat.
A Batman.
But Spider-Man has had enough. He's had enough of these pop-up, the visitor from the planet pop-up and his shenanigans. But
hey, look,
you know,
Morgan Freeman shows up.
Yeah, hey, easy readers there. Now he wanted, you know, but the thing is, the Impossible Man says we don't have enough fun on my planet pop-up. So we need more games, and that's why I became a baseball. I wanted to learn about the game. Well, why didn't you just get ESPN and watch it? You know. By
the way, Spider-Man has lost his spider on the chest. What happened? Lost it.
Well, it's I don't know.
It's gone.
No, probably Possible Man ripped it off. All right, but we're done with that story. We're done. Now we want to go to. Yeah. Now we want to go to the story that everybody's been waiting for.
And the copter.
The Thanos-Copter. All right. First of all, the cat has the cosmic cube. Now, I don't know if this is the Greer Garson cat before she became Tigra, or if this is the Patsy Walker Hellcat. I'm going to... Now, Milo, okay, no, Milo, you're already on the list. You can't get, like, nobody gets twos. Nobody gets doubles. You're already on the list.
He's paying to insult you, so go for it.
Well,
$2. Everybody can take a shot at JR.
I was about to say, Brad would probably love it. Everybody pay to insult me.
Oh, yeah. Spencer's going, yeah, we got the Spider Copter. We finally got to it. An hour and 17 minutes in, Spencer.
I can't believe Spencer's still here. He must be embarrassed to death. Anna's not there, is she, Spencer? She's not watching this catastrophe, is she? Mike McNulty says it looks like the Patsy Walker Hellcat. Well, of course, since it's a Spidey Super Stories, we have to just call her the cat. We can't reference eternal damnation in Spidey Super Stories. But anyway, so you know that Thanos is serious about getting his hands on that cosmic cube because he's brought out the helicopter. Man. Yeah. Now, eventually, he abandons it apparently in the multiverse or whatever. And Loki's
world.
I had lost my patience with Loki Spitzalugi. I had lost my patience with Loki after Sylvie showed up, because, oh boy, here we go. Somebody better than Loki, female Loki, better than Loki, smarter than Loki, more awesome than Loki. So I stopped watching it. So anyway.
Did you watch Secret Invasion? I fell asleep in the middle of
it. No, I didn't watch that. But anyway.
Moon Knight puts me to sleep too. I mean, man.
So I've had enough of Loki, but Spencer and his mother are watching it, and I'm sitting on the couch, in another room, and all of a sudden I hear Thanos-Copter. It's like, what the hell is
Spencer's yelling that?
Yeah, Spencer's yelling Thanos-Copter. Cool. Now the thing is, Spencer's always been a very disturbed little boy, so I don't really, I don't think much of this, And then all of a sudden, I see a snapshot from the show, and there's the Thanos-Copter. It's like, oh my God, man. He was right. He was right.
Super Stories.
Now, see, here's the thing, though. What is the cat doing with the cosmic cube? Why does she have? How did she get the cosmic cube? She's just nothing. She's like a D-list superhero. What's she doing with the cube? Well,
in the Spidey Super Stories universe, she's a big deal, man. She's going up alone against Thanos.
She could take Thanos alone if it was just, mano y mano or womano y mano, but Thanos has his copter.
Spencer
Thanos
says he was raised by a certain disturbed individual. So
now, don't talk about your mother that way. Right? Oh boy, I thought I taught you better than to make fun of, talk about your mother that way.
All right.
Anyway.
I'll cream you later, Cat. Oh my God!
Whoa,
Jesus Christ, Thanos! In this issue, Spider-Man gets teabagged, and oh my God!
I thought we had enough creaming in the first story when the Mastermind kept squirting Ms. Marvel, but I guess
go!
I guess we're not done. I guess we're not done.
Who's Speedy? Man. I'm Speedy, the skateboard superhero.
You're Speedy, the inferior Arrow, right?
Rocket Raccoon. I mean, Rocket Racer, not Rocket Raccoon.
No, that if he were the Rocket Racer, that would be cultural appropriation. But the Rocket Racer doesn't appear until later, I don't think. But I'm losing. This is 1979, though. Maybe the Rocket Racer is already there. Well, anyway, but finally, the Thanos is. And see, here's another thing. Thanos is just flying around in his Thanos-Copter. It's like, what? The NYPD's not after him. It's like, do you have to have a license to have a Thanos-Copter?
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's like, does he have a permit? And
By the
plus,
way,
what's he need with a copter? I mean, doesn't he travel in a spaceship or something?
By the way, the Cosmic Cube just got in the hands of Speedy over here.
Yeah, Speedy was wearing a Jughead hat. Hey, a Cosmic Cube. I'm going to find Archie, Betty, Veronica, and Reggie. And he doesn't look a thing like Cole Sprouse. But anyway,
all right, here we go.
But he
I need an ice cream cone.
He taps into the powers of the Cosmic Cube, and he uses it for a sugar fix. He's got his priorities straight.
Thanos.
Oh, no. Oh, no, you don't. He's not going to let that kid give the of course, Peter's out with Mary Jane, and of course Mary Jane's still on this woman power kick. She's still on the woman's rights thing, so she thinks the cat is a cool, she thinks the cat is neat. Yeah. But Peter, on the other hand, is not impressed. She's just a copycat of Spider-Man. And Mary Jane tells him to can the corn, Peter. Women can be super too. Okay.
I have to use that sometime in the future. If someone says a bad joke, I am going to say, hey, JR, can the corn, all right? Can the corn.
Brad,
we need to bring that back.
No, yeah, we're going to bring it back, all right, but you're going to be the first one hit with it. But trust me, multiple times. That's it. Okay,
corn.
Okay, McNulty.
What's
next
McNulty
time you're
say?
on the show, and tell everybody else, tell Kelly and tell Dark Mark
Sarah.
And tell everybody that when Brad tells a bad joke, to tell him to can the corn.
The corn, Brad.
All right,
feel free.
And the thing is, why does Peter think the cat is a copy of Spider-Man? I don't. It's just I don't know. Peter's just really
can the corn.
Yeah.
Can the corn.
Well, on the next page though, Thanos is starting to play dirty. Thanos
is beating up this little kid. What?
Thanos is beating up a little kid. I mean, it's like pick on somebody your own size, Thanos.
I can do this all day, Thanos.
Give me that, you brat. You can just hear Josh Brolin's voice.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Here you go, Spencer. Can the Oscorn. Your son is teaming up with me,
no. Wait a minute, Spencer. How do you know about Oscorn? You never watched any of those. You don't know what those shows. No,
the kid watches his father. Yes.
No, he doesn't. He's too embarrassed by him. In fact, I've got I mean, y'all see all these pictures that I've got of him. He's just looking at me in disgust and embarrassment. All the time. Just because I took him to the barber and gave him a lot of bad haircuts. So what?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Thanos is like bullying this kid.
Give me that. Give me that, kid.
Give me that, you brat.
Give that back to me, you brat.
Pick on someone your own size.
Look at Mary Jane just sticking up the Thanos right there.
Man, 6 gems snapping out half the universe.
Nothing. Mary Jane doesn't
scare Mary Jane. I don't have to take the
world
with the cosmic cube. Why is he only settling for the world? He's got a whole universe, but he's only settling for the
brother.
world. Yeah, well,
scat
says
cat.
Can you just see Thanos saying scat cat? This is I don't know. Like I said, just try to imagine it in Josh Brolin's voice.
Oh, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Oh, we got
the thing is,
Thanos here.
This is just going to get worse. All right.
Yeah, I know.
We're the fate of the world's at stake. And it's the fate of the world's at stake, and Peter is going to abandon his girlfriend again. See,
and the cat beat the rat. Is what Peter says.
Cat beat that rat. But apparently though, Peter doesn't think she can, because he's going to change to Spider-Man.
I gotta leave suddenly. It's too bad Spidey isn't here to help, right, Peter? Peter? Oh,
maybe she was really giving him a hint. It's too bad Spidey isn't here to help.
Wink, wink. Oh, there you go.
So anyway, so anytime there's danger, it's like, why hasn't Mary Jane dumped this guy? The Hulk shows up, he runs away from her and leaves her to the Hulk's mercy. Thanos shows up, and he runs away and leaves her to the Thanos's mercy. Well, Thanos, he knows how to play serious. So he's going to use the powers of the cosmic cube to whip up a big dog.
He brings in Marmaduke, evidently.
He brings up Scooby. He brings out Scooby-Doo's genetically altered brother.
What's the Inhumans dog name? What's the Inhumans dog?
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. He's like Lockjaw's
this is Scrappy 2.0. But the cat's not intimidated. Yikes. she goes up in a tree and tells him,
whoa. No, do the joke. Do the joke.
Don't hound me. Next page. No, there's a better one next page.
Oh, okay. Well, another pound.
Better one next page.
Nothing but a ground dog.
Nothing but a ground dog. You can't put the bite on me.
Darn that dirty dog. I'm a cornered kitty.
Don't hound me. Oh, okay.
Wrong cat.
Now she's really in. Now she is really in trouble, because not only does Scrappy 2.0 there, and he's looking pretty rabid right now, but Thanos is coming around the corner with the cosmic cube. But our hero, shows up.
I'm crying. All right, here we go. Our hero kicks the dog right in the ass.
Jughead. Our hero and paws off, Pooch.
Kicks him right in the butt. Look at that. Oh, far out.
Well, the dog goes whimpering away.
Spider-Man.
Superhero.
Superheroes have to stick together, right, Cat? Okay.
Yeah, now we're all buds now. Yeah, now we're all
right.
Buds.
Here we go.
So it's like what? You abandon one redhead to shack up with another. Is that right, Spider-Man? That must be it.
Kook.
That must be it, because she's a redhead. Well, Thanos. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard against Thanos. But fortunately, Thanos outsmarts himself. Though he creates an earthquake to shake everything up, but he falls as a result of creating the earthquake.
Oh no!
Thanos outsmarts himself.
We can't let him get it back.
And it causes him to drop the cosmic cube. Jughead picks it up.
Jughead gets it. Give me the cube, kid, and I promise to make you my partner. You're all wrapped up. Jim.
In other words, Jim, now this is probably what James Mangold was reading when he was trying to figure out, okay, so how do I get rid of some of the bad guys in Logan? And he's going through, oh, hey, wait a minute. Jim makes the grass tie up Thanos. I'll use that in Logan to get rid of that cyborg guy. So
yes, Winnipeg, Thanos does get stopped by grass. And he didn't even have to smoke it, you know?
He didn't even have to smoke it.
Well, all right, here we go.
Well, Thanos is led away by the cops.
By the way, can you imagine James Brolin
probably got handcuffs on?
Yeah, getting into the back of a car.
I tell you, the NYPD in the Spidey Super Stories universe is fearless. They arrest Dr. Doom. They arrest Thanos.
Yep.
You know.
Yes, Adam. Spider-Boy versus Jughead Cosmic Cube Boy.
Eastern European dictator, no problem. Intergalactic madman, not a match for the NYPD. Yeah. But see, here's the thing. Where's the copter? He just left the copter out. Where's the Thanos-Copter?
There should be an editor's note. See Loki TV series in 2020.
That must have been it. That must have been it. What was her name? The time girl, the clock girl, or whatever. They must have
Miss Manners or Miss.
That must have been it. You know, she.
Milo says Iron Man wouldn't have had to die if there was only grass. All right, so here's the cube catch. Thanks.
Okay. But what is she going to do with the cube? So I was like, so she has this. Well, Jughead. Oh yeah, where did she put it?
Where did she put it?
Hey, hey, Spidey. Maybe you better go looking for where the cat put it.
So long, Cat. You're a real swinger. Whoa, hey.
Actually, if, I think if I were Spidey, I'd say I'd think that this is the time to search the cat. To see where she's. You're right. Where did she
somebody's got a hand right
there
anyway?
Where did she stash that? Where did she stash that?
Okay. Wow. What a team, says Jimmy. You can say that again.
Well,
where were you, Peter? Oh, I went to call the police and missed all the action as usual.
The end. Well, and boys and girls, that is the origin, the first appearance of the Thanos-Copter. Now, you probably wish you had this issue because there's no telling how much it's worth.
It's actually worth some money. I've wanted to buy it. Oh my God! Here we go. We got another good joke.
The wit of the web slinger. Why did you name your pig Ink? Because it keeps running out of the pen.
I love it. I love it. Look at the little Spider-Man on the farm. God, I love this.
Anyway, but the back cover reads Spidey Super Stories.
Oh, there you go. The Women's March.
Women's rights.
Yeah. And you can get your stamp of the cat.
Spidey's an ally. Spidey is an ally. Yeah. But you were talking you were talking a few minutes ago about expense that this is expensive.
Yeah.
When I was rebuilding, when I was because I had skipped. I've talked about over the years, there were periods where I didn't buy Spider-Man. I got so sick of it. When Denny O'Neil took over, I quit for about a year. When the Hobgoblin mystery got out of hand, I quit for a while. The Clone Saga, I quit for a long time after that. But then I started my website and figured I better need to find all this stuff, to get the source material to do some articles. Because, somebody by the name of, I had my website, and then somebody by the name of George Barrowman, who also had a website, wanted me to contribute to that,
right.
And that was Hero Realm. So that's how George and I met back in 1998. And of course, in 2001, George, of course, formally announced to the whole internet that Spencer was born. So,
yeah.
And anyway, when I was, a lot of these comics at that time, and maybe you still can't, $1, $2. There was
they're worth more than that now.
There was one comic shop I was able to buy like 7 for $1. But I could not find Spidey Super Stories. And anytime I did see a Spidey Super Stories, it was like almost at the cost of a McFarlane, because at that time
I know
I had to pay $4 or $5 for a McFarlane, and that really ticked me off. But the Spidey Super Stories were very difficult to find, and anytime you did find them, they were more expensive than the regular runs. Maybe that's not true now.
Mainly because kids read these and trashed them. They really didn't take care of them.
Wait a minute.
I have several, and mine are.
We have ours. You trashed your.
Oh my! Well, I'm 2 and 3, JR. Like
that's no excuse. Spencer took care of his comics at an early age.
I know, but mine are in very poor condition, and I kind of want to rebuild mine because they're not reprinted. You know.
No.
Anyway,
they probably never will be because of the rights issues. So
yeah, they're going to have to pay like Rita Moreno. They're going to pay Morgan Freeman, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and so when they came out with like Electra Company's stuff on DVDs, the Spider-Man segments were either shortened, scrapped, altered. So there's a lot of rights issues. Brad didn't have long boxes when he was 3 years old. Well, he did, but he slept in them instead of a crib. His mother
did take care of his comics. Yep. Let's see. Our last one, I threw JR a bone. I wanted one with a Goblin. We've already reviewed a Goblin one where Norman cross-dressed, right?
Yeah, I love that one. I had to take the next month off because I was getting teased so much. The Green Goblin returns, but we're not going to
Goblin returns. I did this one just for JR.
Yeah. So Brad did me a favor. I did him a favor by making August and September Brad picks month. So he tossed me a little bone here. But we're not going to get to the Goblin story first. We're going to have another villain, and we're going to be another superhero, Power Man. All right, he was just Luke Cage. But he became part of a secret experiment that gave him great power. Now he fights crime as Power Man. I don't know about you, but I think there's a lot missing to this story. A lot.
Yeah. Doesn't talk about where he was in jail or. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like this is the 1970s, right? You know, some white guy says, I want to, comes and says, I want, no.
All right, let's get into it.
I was about to say, I'm about to open the door there for something I don't want to finish.
No, anyway, don't get in there.
Yeah, don't get there.
The roots of all evil.
Oh, no, Plant Man.
Plant Man.
Boys and girls, as you know, we've covered a Plant Man story way back in, oh my gosh, I don't even have my, that was the famous Joey Z episode, I think, too, by the way. But anyway, so Plant Man is at a planetarium because where else would Plant Man be but a planetarium?
Not a disco. Not a disco. It's 70s, but he's got a planetarium.
And
all right, here we go.
Yeah, just coincidentally, Aunt May is watering her plants. Yep. And Peter says, oh, my God, I got to get away from this old bat. So, hey, I have a date with Mary Jane.
You don't want to, you don't really want to scare Aunt May because she might just wet her plants. Okay, let's keep going.
The wit of the web slinger.
Come on. Have a good time with Mary Jane, she says. All right. Mary Jane, what's up, girl? Sorry, Adam. Can the corn, Douglas. Can the corn, Brad. Can the corn, Milo. Can the corn, Brad.
That is a boomerang.
Can the Oscorn.
Boomerang.
Spencer.
All right. Go. Isn't it past your bedtime?
By the way, geez. Winnipeg says Joey Z was episode 169. There you go.
Man, Winnipeg, you are man.
You know what Winnipeg has done?
Winnipeg
has told me that Winnipeg has listened to every episode. He's binged all 700 episodes, and he's your biggest fan, JR. Can the corn, Douglas. All right, keep going.
You poor child. I mean, that's even sadder than my own genetic offspring.
Hey, look, this is going back to the Prodigy. Where's the rubber tree?
We didn't use we don't use those terms.
Don't leave home with it.
Not in Spidey's. No. That's not what it means in Spidey Super Stories.
I know. I know.
All right.
Let's keep
and anyway. So, but anyway, Luke Cage is dressing pretty snappy. I mean, he doesn't have.
Is this him? He's not in yellow. He's always in yellow.
Yeah, he doesn't have his tiara either. But he notices that a lot of the plants are missing. And he asks the security guard, "Where are they? Someone's been taking them." All right, okay. That's what you pay for, right? That's what you pay for. Security, the plants are gone. Somebody's been taking them.
All right,
right under my nose.
Well, that's enough for Peter to ditch Mary Jane again.
Ditch Mary Jane again. You know. Unfortunately, it was just about this obvious in the real comics too.
I know,
you know? And it's like, it's just funny because it's like, and nobody figured it out. Nobody figured it out. It defies logic.
Oh, he does have yellow. He's got a yellow tie on. There you go.
Yeah, but he doesn't have his tiara. Maybe he's got his tiara attached to his. Mary Jane, would you watch the children?
I got to get the hell out of here too.
I was about to say that sounds like a horror movie. Watching the children.
What in the world? She says, and look at this little kid just freaked out. Everybody's leaving. All the adults are leaving.
He found the cannabis. That's the plant he found. Whoa! I just came from the cannabis exhibit. Oh. Good thing Plant Man didn't get those before I had a chance. Well, of course.
Oh, God. All right.
Oh, Luke Cage.
Let's keep going. Spider-Man. Hi, Power Man.
He's pretty ticked. Luke Cage is for coming in late on the cannabis. So Power Man and Spider-Man decide that they're going to team up against Plant Man, but frankly, they're just no match for Plant Man. He gets away, but he does. Oh, and look what he uses. Bananas. He's gets
throwing banana peels.
He throws bananas peels at. I mean, that's just, so. Now, see, the familiarity again. Here are the bananas, Spidey. The schemer calls him Spidey. I guess villains just are not intimidated by him in the Spidey Super Stories universe. I mean,
they don't really call him Spider-Man in the book, do they?
No, they call him the villains call him Spidey. I mean, it's almost like, it's almost like maybe they're not taking this fight seriously. Like the old Warner Brothers cartoons with Sam and Ralph. Morning, Ralph. Morning, Sam. You remember those, right? The sheepdog and the coyote.
Yeah.
You remember those, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if anybody in the audience remembers those, but Well,
one of them always looked like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, that's right. He looked like Wile. Yeah. But that was just their job. The wolf's job was to attack the sheep. The sheepdog's job was to beat up the wolf. They clocked in when the 5 o'clock. They clocked out. So anyway, Plant Man gets.
It's not called Spider-Man Super Stories. It's called Spidey. Very good. Very good.
Well, and that's why we keep Hornacek around, because he keeps us honest.
Plant Man got away.
Yeah, he got away, but he left him some flowers. He left him forget-me-not.
Forget-me-not. Ha ha
ha ha ha. Plant Man. Yeah. Now, as Bugs Bunny would say, this means war. All right. So part 2.
Gone to seed.
Yeah. Well, Spider-Man doesn't like the looks of this. Next page. Where are you taking the plants? The plant doctor said they were sick.
Okay.
Now the plant doctor, we do see the plant doctor. He's right over there, and he does not look suspicious at all.
Well, he's right. I called the plant doctor. He told me what to do. He said, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah. Okay, go ahead. Doctor, I'd like to talk to you. Doctor. Oh, hey, doctor.
But that doctor is strange.
Not doctor. He's got.
Well, first of all, nothing looks out. He
doesn't look out of place.
He could easily pass, but this doctor is strange. You don't think there's like a little in joke there, do you?
I probably, yeah. This doctor is strange. All right. Oh,
now you don't laugh at that, but you laugh at your, well, Spidey gets stuck in some quicksand.
Yes, Milo just told you to can the corn, JR. There you go.
No. He's telling you that.
He was talking to you. No, all right, go ahead.
All right. Well, Power Man pops.
He pops him all right. He pops him out of the. Jesus.
Well, anyway, we got to get a move on here because it's getting close to midnight, and I know Spencer's bedtime. He's way past his bedtime. So they run across the top of the planetarium, and sure enough, somebody doesn't realize that it's made of glass, and he crashes through.
Make a web to break his fall. I'm all right, thanks to you. Even though I have hardened skin, and this fall wouldn't have hurt at all.
But Mary Jane has finally lost her patience.
Oh,
she's
after
finally lost
issues.
her patience. Finally lost it. Let him find another girlfriend. And you see what she's doing is she's going to start flashing because that's how she's going to attract it. It's like, let him find another girlfriend, because she is Mary Jane is out on the town,
Hey, don't be angry, Mary Jane. Peter must be doing something very important.
Well,
he's throwing coconuts.
Well, but this doesn't last long. Power Man shakes him out of the tree. Spider-Man webs him in a pot. So now,
let go, you big weed.
We've finally been able to pot. We've finally been able to pot Plant Man. And where's the kid who found the pot? He's probably
he found the Mary Jane, all right. I'll tell you.
Luke Cage has ditched his tiara and his clothing. Or
Mary Jane's getting ready to do something.
Yeah, but now she's happy at Peter. Now she's not ready to flash. She's not ready to flash anymore for other guys. She's back with Peter. She forgives him for running out on her and exposing her to danger relentlessly, like he does. Peter says, I'm going to feel like a plant. Why is that? I'll be living in a greenhouse.
Okay. Yeah, just look. That, look at that. He loved telling dad jokes in the 70s. Look at
that. Yeah, he really, that's
look how proud. Look how proud Aunt May is. Like, that's my boy telling these puns. They're fun.
I was about to say, he really does look like somebody. Boy, I'm really funny.
Yeah, Winnipeg goes, can the corn, Peter. All right.
Wait a minute.
Next story.
Winnipeg Webhead is saying, geez, Jay, what did I do? What did I do?
You know what?
No, I don't.
Spencer says, take your time, Dad. I need every detail. Milo is watching this at 5 a.m. Milo, you gotta wake up at noon, brother.
Man, I tell you, Milo, you're
Winnipeg's referencing you talking about Mary Jane flashing.
Oh, well, didn't it look like what she was about to do? Dude, I mean, come on. Why else? Why else were I mean, actually,
she's ready to punch him.
No. She's buttoning back up. She was going around the planetarium flashing, trying to pick up another guy, but then Peter shows up, so she's just got done buttoning back up.
Gotcha. All right. More Impossible Man. As if he wasn't annoying enough.
Yeah. Well. So now, of course, so our next story, because we've run out of Spidey stories for the from the actual show, we have, there's Morgan Freeman again.
Morgan Freeman.
All right.
Saying airports are exciting. Now, this is probably referencing the airplane movies, or the disaster movies, right? Is that what they're talking about?
Who
knows? I don't know.
I don't know. But the Impossible Man's flying saucer is here again. And of course, this is a job for Spidey. Flying saucers. I would have thought that they would have grounded his flying saucer after the last one. But anyway, the more Impossible Man foolishness. Is there any other kind?
By the way, do you remember what's the name of these characters? We got Easy Reader. Jane? Was that her name?
No, she was Jennifer of the Jungle.
Not Jane.
That was Jennifer of the Jungle, and she hung around a gorilla named Paul. But
that's
Paul seems
Foggy
no,
Nelson,
that's Dakota North.
Dakota North. You're right. Yeah,
Dakota
Easy
North.
Reader, and this must be Eve, maybe.
I have no idea.
Okay, got it. All right. So Spider-Man sees that saucer could be affecting traffic at the airport. He ditches Mary Jane yet again, twice in one issue.
It's like, the thing is, if the flying saucers cross, isn't that a problem for the FAA? Why does Peter need to? That's what we pay the FAA for. Although, if this is let's see, what year is this though? Maybe
I
this
think
is
it's 79.
Okay, 1980. It's the 1980 issue. Well, I was about to say this was before Ronald Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers when they went on strike. So there's no excuse. The air traffic controllers were still on duty here. Anyway,
airport movies. That's what I'm thinking. The disaster movies in the 70s. That's what I was thinking of for a sec. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, Spider-Man switches.
Yeah. Peter switches to Spider-Man. And he and the Impossible Man play some more of those their idiotic games. I don't know what the point of bringing the Impossible. It's the same thing every Impossible Man story, But then again, I mean, this here, I'm getting on Spidey Super Stories for.
I'd better wing it. This is a bird brain idea.
That's a bird brain idea.
And the corn. Yeah.
Well,
all right. So,
but see, and see, there's Paul. Yeah. See, so
where's Paul? Where's Paul?
Right there. There's Paul. Paul the gorilla.
Oh, Paul. That Paul.
Yeah,
that's Paul the gorilla. That's right.
Man,
I forgot. There's another Paul in Spider-Man's world.
He's two-timing Jennifer. Holy cow! He's with Rita. Two-timing. Wow.
Wait a minute. Jennifer of the Jungle and Paul used to hang out.
They did, but now
maybe
Paul is with
JR. Maybe
Paul,
this is Paul in the Zeb Wells run.
No. Now you're really no. Please. Please, that's snapping worse than carbon fibers on a submersible. Oh my God. Anyway,
all right, let's go to the next story. Happy Halloween from the Green Goblin.
All right, let that one sink in. Did you know Mortimer Winslow? I can't talk about Mortimer Winslow because I made fun of his name once and somebody reamed me out for it.
Mortimer Winslow, he's the artist on this, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, he did some art. Yeah.
Okay. So I can't.
But like I said, I made fun of his name, so I can't talk about him anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is good. I mean, this is Kitty. This is perfect for this book.
Well, you were the target audience,
and I loved it,
and still are probably. This is the Candy Dragon. I wonder if this is like, hey, it's the Candy Dragon. Like, I wonder if it like, Candy Mountain. Remember Candy Mountain?
Yeah.
Let's go to Candy Mountain.
Right.
Spencer knows what Candy Mountain is.
There's another parade in New York City.
Shun the unbelievers. Shun. Anyway, there's a Candy Dragon, but where there's high sugar and fructose content, you'll find the Green Goblin.
Norman Osborn loves a good parade.
No. You know what? The first time the Goblin appeared in Spidey Super Stories. Oh, Adam, that's not bad. Oh, you bad boy. Anyway,
okay.
If you were my son, I would slap you. But
all right.
Anyway, the first time we saw the Green Goblin Spidey Super Stories, it was Harry Osborn, actually, because remember, Norman's dead. We can't talk about dead people. That's why.
So is this Harry?
Well, this is after a while we stopped identifying the guy. He just became kind of a generic supervillain because Harry would drink a green vial and turn to the Green Goblin. And then Peter found his juice and dropped it down the sink, and Harry forgot all about it. So the Green Goblin is just like a generic villain now. Okay, he's no Osborn, but Peter knows when the Green Goblin appears, trouble
is Green Goblin 5. Whatever. All right, let's keep going.
Or maybe it's Bart Hamilton, right? I mean, he didn't.
Bart Hamilton. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, but Spidey knows this float's a fake, man. This float's a fake.
Yeah, he knows something's up. He knows that. And there's hey, wait a minute. There's Mary Jane and Paul's children right next panel.
Where?
Oh, there we go. Look, there we go. Holy cow! There they are.
We got Paul and the two kids and the Spidey Super Stories from 1980. I got to slip away again and become Spidey third time in this book.
He's out. Jeez, so one of the greatest supervillains in Marvel comes flying. Where does Peter go? Peter abandoned his girlfriend again.
I abandoned. Well, how many times did he abandon her? Once just in this episode. Once for the Hulk. Once for Thanos.
Well, it turns out that this is not because people were thinking this was just a fake Green Goblin as part of the parade. No, this is the real Green Goblin. He's green and mean, kids. Turn to the next page.
But look, Mary Jane's got a great pun. Peter, you're such a pumpkin head.
Well,
right,
it is a Halloween issue. Oh man, gosh, the
real...
Goblin's got all the goodies. The Green Goblin's going to steal all this candy. You know, I guess when you have the Goblin formula, you really have to, get a real sugar high in order to feed it. But I'm
wait a minute.
Green.
Why'd this kid go as the Pringles man for Halloween? It looks like the guy on the Pringles can. Okay. Gosh, the Goblin got all the goodies.
I got a rock.
Here. I got a, there you go. I got a rock. Yep. Okay, let's go.
Probably most of our audience don't know where that comes from. I'm
Charlie
Green
Brown
and Mean
Halloween
Kids.
special.
Or maybe I should do it like Willem Dafoe here. I'm Green and Mean, kids. If you want the candy dragon back, you'll have to pay for it.
All right, here we go. You kids have 1 hour to come up with the cash. You kids have
1 hour to come up with the cash.
Wait a minute.
So, wait a minute. Can't? I've got a big sweet tooth, and these goodies look good.
So wait a minute. So if the Goblin stole all the candy and he wants the kids to pay for it, is that Norman's scheme? Is this what I'm getting?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Why else would you steal? Yeah, and if they don't pay, I mean, if they don't pay the ransom for the candy, he'll just eat it all.
Okay. Well, all right. You Norman Osborn, you pig. All right.
All right. So
Mary Jane, what'd she do?
Oh, well, Mary Jane knows that, she knows what the Goblin's up to. So she's going to hide in the float.
Okay. She's going to hide.
She's going to hide in the candy dragon float, or as Adam Winchell would say, the candy ass dragon float.
I'm dragging the dragon to hide out.
I'll never get that out of my head, Adam. So anyway, Spidey follows the candy dragon to the Green Goblin's secret lair, and the Goblin he's not even going to wait for the kids to pay their ransom. He is going to start chowing down.
He's just chowing down. Nom, nom, nom.
And the thing is, Spider-Man, instead of interrupting him, Spider-Man should just let him continue to eat it and absorb all that sugar, because that'll put him in a coma. That candy is too sweet. Oh, and look, it's Spidey again. With the Spidey.
Can you imagine
Spidey?
Willem Dafoe yelling that. All right, the Green Goblin.
Spidey. I'm trying to think. Can Spidey come out to play? I just don't have the same. It does not have the same effect. So, I tell you.
Is the Green Goblin eating candy Oscorn? What? What was he eating?
Could be. He could be.
Maybe he's eating some candy corn. Yeah, that might be candy corn. Oh, yeah, that looks like candy corn down there. Yeah, look at that. Good job, Mike.
Anyway.
Good. He could have stolen some Hostess fruit pies.
He could have.
All right, here we go, Spidey.
All right. Well, Spidey's followed the Green Goblin to his lair. Of course, he gets dropped in the pile of candy. But hey, just in the nick of time, who comes to the rescue? Mary Jane. Mary Jane is there. If you think you can beat me, you flip bug brain.
That's what you think, Fink. You've been tripped up. So Mary Jane
trips the Green Goblin.
Look at her kicking ass right here.
Jeez.
Look at that.
He's
this guy's neck snap.
Okay, I'm beginning to think maybe this is Green Goblin 5, because you remember he couldn't fly on the glider either. He was having a hard time with the glider. Maybe it is. And just like
look at him standing over him.
Yeah.
On your face. Oh, he dumps all the candy on his head.
All the candy. Yeah, it's.
What does he say, JR? What does he say?
Guess you bit off more than you could chew.
So long, Spidey. Now we got to get back to Mary Jane as Peter Parker. We got to figure that out. How are we going to do this? Okay.
Well, no, Spidey will just disappear. Peter will show up, and Mary Jane won't figure out a thing. So,
gee, Peter, I didn't see it. Take pictures of this big battle. How'd you do it? I was up to my neck in that sticky mess. With the money I get for these pictures, I'll take you to a movie, MJ.
Uh-oh, but it's not going to work out, Peter. It's not going to work out because Jonah's not going to buy them.
Of a dumb plot like that.
I told you to take pictures. You know, J.K. Simmons, I told you to take pictures of kids in Halloween costumes.
Yep.
You know, all these are shots of, I stapled the rest of the dialogue. All these are shots of that show-off Spider-Man.
Yep. Jeepers, JJJ, I need some money for the movies.
Parker, did anyone ever tell you that you're a pumpkin head? So, well, I guess Mary Jane called him that earlier.
Get out of here, you kid. You bother me. Oh, gosh, MJ. Our movie plans are no show. Wrong, Peter. This time I'll treat you.
That's because she's a liberated woman. She's been liberated since she's been liberated since issue 39.
That's true. Continuity.
She's feeling her oats. You know, she's women's rights. All right.
I'll treat you. All right.
Well,
here we go, JR. Here we go.
The fifth and last.
Oh my God! And it's a weed. It's a weed joke.
It's a weed joke, and it's easy reader. Morgan Freeman is how appropriate. Morgan Freeman is telling us a weed joke.
Oh my God!
So, what did one weed say to the other? Spidey doesn't have a clue. Take me to your weeder.
Oh, look at poor Plant Man.
Yeah,
he can't take that type of humor. Look at that. And let's take a look at the back cover.
We got a Luke Cage. We got a Luke. This is
stamp.
this. You know what? Probably reading this is what inspired a young man by the name of Nicholas Coppola to change his name from Coppola. You know, because his uncle had already pretty well made that famous. So this probably what inspired him to change it to Nick Cage.
Why not?
This issue. And that is true. That is not a urban tale.
That's not making up. That's not making up.
He took the Cage from, because Nick Cage has always been a big comic book fan.
That's right.
And that's part of the reason he ran out of money and had to start selling his collection too. Just like a
JR, I can't thank you enough for 2 hours of Spidey Super Stories. I have another request. Next year we do 5 more.
You know what? I'm too old for this. I really am.
Does this make me Mel Gibson and you're Danny Glover? What are you too old for this? Come on. We ended on a weed joke. We had Thanos arrested by the police.
Now see, this was entertainment in the 70s. Kids, you don't know what you missed. You know, you don't know what you missed by not having your monthly or semi-monthly dose of or bi-monthly dose of Spidey Super Stories. Anyway, it lasted.
Chat, you loved this, didn't you? Come on.
It lasted 57 issues. It lasted, I think it was canceled finally in 1982. But I mean, it outlasted the new episodes of the Electric Company by 5 years. Ran its course, but it is fondly remembered. It is fondly remembered by all, I think, longtime Spider-Man fans. You know, I mean, it was what it was, and like we've said, Marvel took it seriously. Marvel put an A-team on it. So
Milo says, "I'm so happy I wasn't born in the 70s."
Well, I was, yeah. Well, I wasn't either. I was born in the 60s and grew up in the 70s. So
I was born in the 70s. Jonathan says, "I love JR suffering through this."
Well, you know, Brad does pay the bills. Every once in a while we got to humor the man with the money. You know,
Adam says, JR's 1 day away from retirement.
Well, I'm getting closer. Every day I'm getting closer.
Winnipeg Spider-Man says, you've been 1 day away from retirement since episode 4.
1 day closer, though. 1 day closer to Amazing Spider-Man 1000. And then that's it. You know?
Oh, my gosh.
That's it. Spider-Man, you know. So,
if you
Brad, I don't.
Thank you, JR. This was fun, man.
McNulty is saying that Boys and Girls is further at proof the 70s were a weird time.
Yeah. Chat, if you have a question for me and JR, we will answer a couple of them, and then we will wrap the show up. I had a great time with this. This was a lot of fun, JR.
Yeah.
What was your
I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad.
Of the 5, JR, what was your favorite? What was your favorite of all those?
Well, it's got to be the Thanos. Well, it's got to be the Thanos-Copter issue because one, you had the first story was Ms. Marvel and the Woman's March, and Mastermind with his devious plan to stop women by making them drink soda that puts them to sleep for an hour. And then the Thanos-Copter, number 39. That's, I think it was 39 or 38. 39, number 39. That was a classic. That was the favorite.
Yeah. We got a super chat. Thank you, Josh. Our top 5 Spider-Man villains. JR, go ahead.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about
Spidey?
Yeah. Are we talking about Spidey Super Stories, continuity villains? Or are we talking about regular villains? I mean, the thing is, if you're talking about Spidey Super Stories, I don't know. The Wall is pretty high up there. The Wall, the Bookworm. Got to go with the Bookworm. Got to go with the Fly. Actually, you could look at Wikipedia. There's a bunch of they list every single one of them.
Go to YouTube and find those little skits. They're all over. There's so much.
Not all of them are there. I think there's only
there's a couple of them that aren't.
Yeah, but there's a hand. The Wall is definitely there, where Spidey's wearing his New York Mets cap. So,
okay, hold on a second for this next question. This ought to be fun to do. I'm going to get a stopwatch. And we have a question from Gary in the Frozen that says, JR, can you go over how Norman was behind the Clone Saga? Did he work with Miles Warren or just inspire to experiment the clones? JR, you have 60 seconds to explain the Clone Saga. Go.
He funded Miles Warren's experiments. That was it. After Gwen Stacy died, Miles Warren was trying to clone her because he was obsessed with her. And by that time, Norman had gone to Europe, taken over the cult of scryers, and then he sent a scryer to appear before Miles Warren and said, "Oh, I can give you money and help you recreate the love of your life, Gwen Stacy." And Norman Osborn funded the Clone Saga from beginning to end. So that's it.
30 seconds.
Miles Warren worked for him. Norman Osborn works for no man. Miles Warren worked for him.
All right. JR explained Norman's connection to the Clone Saga in 40 seconds. Look at that, Gary in the Frozen. Where else can you get that on the internet? Let's see. Happy 25th. Thank you, Adam. It's August. For our audio listeners. Our video listeners, it's June. But yeah, we're going to have some more fun. We've got some more fun shows planned for the 25th anniversary. So stay tuned for that.
I'm going to have a pacemaker installed for it so I can survive it.
Live on the air, yeah. Adam, what are some upcoming Spider histories? And Zach also has the same question. What are some histories that we can look forward to? You've got your list there. You've planned them out.
Yes, I did. Let's see.
Yeah, what do we got for the rest of the year?
Well, actually, that's a good question. I'm just looking at some of the requests. I know that somebody wanted me to go over the some of the trades like Spirits of the Earth, Fear Itself, and Honky.
No, Hooky, not Honky.
Oh.
Well, that's a whole different Spider-Man book.
That explains why it wasn't set in the 70s like I thought it was going to be. We could, the death of Jean DeWolf is on here. So it could be the trades. I don't know. I mean, I got another 2 or 3 months to think about death of Jean DeWolf probably because we've never really done that.
And then more web super stories
But 2024 being the 40th anniversary of what, Brad?
2024, the 40th anniversary of Secret Wars.
That's right.
We have to cover it.
We are going to do, and that will probably take, I would say that would be a good 3 shows. Right?
Did you commit to that?
Yeah.
I thought you were wishy-washy. You've committed to reviewing Secret Wars for 3 months?
Brad, I am a man of principle. I am a man of honor. If I said I would do it, I'll do it.
You didn't commit, I don't think. I think George and I tried to convince you.
Well, no, I was wishy-washy at first, but then when somebody reminded, but then when I think it was George, somebody reminded stated that it was the 40th anniversary. 2024 was good, and it was like that made it.
There you go. The 40th anniversary of Secret Wars. JR will review that in 2024.
Now, an old
12 issues. So
an old Spidey history. We did review Secret Wars #1. And I don't know what maybe Adam Winchell will find it, but for some reason, both George and Brad just lit into me something horrible.
You deserve
because
it.
I was objectively critiquing Secret Wars, and showing them what a miserably flawed story it was. And I was viciously attacked. I'm never going to forget that. So if you thought that, I was just getting warmed up making fun of issue #1, wait till you see what I do with the remaining 11.
I can't wait to hear what you say about Spider-Man goes into the wrong room and gets a bad wardrobe change, and we're stuck with symbiotes for 30 damn years, 40 damn years.
Well, I've already said how that's going to start. Spidey walks into a room, this black turd falls out of a coffee maker, and
coffee maker.
He's surrounded by alien machinery. He doesn't know how to work. He doesn't know anything about. The two guys who they created costumes for, like Thor and somebody else. He doesn't go and ask.
Thor and Hulk.
And it's like, instead of asking, he just decides, well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this technology. And here this turd fell out of this coffee maker. I guess I'll wear it.
That turd's been around forever. Hornacek
says, I remember Secret Wars.
I remember the Spider History episode. Brad and George came into that episode thinking JR was going to praise Secret Wars, and they were both shocked. Yes, we were. And you got to do issue 3 where Spider-Man beats all the X-Men. I love that.
Yeah, but first you got to go through issue 1 where everybody introduces themselves.
And after that, the relationship between George and JR was never the same.
It was never the same. It's like, well, why we've all been in the Marvel universe for like a dozen years or so. Why don't we just all stand around and introduce each other?
Hey, let's get some name tags, all right? Your son is voting for Gene DeWolf. He wants Gene DeWolf in 2023. There you go.
Well, I'll tell you one reason that he wants that.
Why is that?
Beyond the fact that my son, having some genetic trait similar to mine, knows a classic story when he sees it. But it was also his Christmas gift to his sister last year. Is that right? Isn't that right, boy? Yeah, nice. That was your Christmas gift to Rachel.
What did you all think of Kraven the Hunter trailer? JR has not seen it. I thought it looked pretty bad, says Josh. Needs more Spider-Man. It's very violent. How do you get the accent wrong on Kraven? You gave it to what's his name? Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's got the Russian accent.
Aaron Taylor Johnson was the actor, I think.
Yeah, and then he comes in, Quicksilver. He doesn't have the Russian accent in the movie. What the heck? Anyway, there's a bunch of spiders that come down on him. JR, you gotta watch.
No, people. I told you this during the Venom movie.
Okay. Here, hold on, JR.
I told
you
this.
There you go, JR.
Okay, I told you this during the Morbius movie. If you go and watch that shit, they're gonna pump out more. Don't watch it. Don't go see it. If the first Venom movie had been a failure, there would have been no more. But no, you had to all go, oh, Venom. We love Venom. We love Tom Hardy. We got to see it. And then it makes $700 million, and Sony decides to turn the spigot on. And then we get Jared Joker loser Leto, as Morbius, and now we got Kraven, and we're going to get Madam Web. We almost got Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
These movies are your fault because you went to see Venom. You did it. Yeah. I didn't. I haven't seen Venom yet. I refuse to because
Random internet weirdo says, "Did you cover Webman?" We did. We cover Webman. Let's see. What about Webman? McNulty, where were you? We covered Webman in this episode. We're assuming these people sit for 2 straight hours, JR. I guess it's a bad assumption.
I don't know. I think McNulty was probably smoking some of the weed, or that we were discussing earlier. Probably when we were doing the Plant Man story, he probably said, "Hey, I still got a stash I ain't touched," and he probably went back and
Mary Jane. Yeah. Thank you, JR, for teaching me through Spider history. I've referenced that villain, the Wall, during my job as Spider-Man at a birthday party and blew the kid's grandfather away. So Winnipeg does.
Wow.
I think it's Make-A-Wish. I think is what he does. He goes to birthday parties and also Make-A-Wish dressed up as Spider-Man. And I think someone referenced the electric company. He goes, "Yeah, fighting the Wall was a bad deal," and the grandpa just was impressed that Spider-Man knew who the Wall was. So I thought that was cool.
Of course, he was talking with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Adam says Death of Gene DeWolf and the Return of the Sin Eater. That needs to be covered in one episode.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal, though. The thing is, we've covered both Gene DeWolf and the sequel, the Sin Eater sequel, during Spider history, but usually we covered like one issue in particular. But then,
so and that was without the visuals.
It's a little tricky. I actually would have to go back, since I've already promised Gene DeWolf. I have to do Gene DeWolf anyway, but I really need to go and see, because I went into a lot of detail on Return of the Sin Eater, because that actually was surprisingly a very good story. I was very surprised about how the balanced way that Peter David handled it, because basically here was a mass murderer, but he had gotten released, but he was suffering the consequences of his actions, and his actions were never excused. So I thought it was I thought it was a very well done. Peter David, I just, anytime that guy got a Spider-Man writing gig, other than I think Spectacular, lately they ruin it with these stupid ass crossovers. And Peter David also wrote probably the best Star Trek comics as well. So just a shame that he's kind of at the back end, the back 40, and he's been having some health issues. But I will do Death of Gene DeWolf.
Yeah. Spencer, let me pop that up. Spencer is asking about Hypno Hustler. Have we ever done that one?
We did Hypno Hustler. Hypno Hustler.
But we didn't do it. We didn't do it the modern style where I got the pictures. It was an audio.
It was an.
Or was it?
Good. I don't know. It was right before. It was not. I used to have my list right here, but all these notes for the show made me lose it. I swear. But no, it was. We did do it. I think you're right, Brad. I think it was an audio only, and it was before the Joey Z episodes, because actually that is a very notable.
Yeah.
Because at that time, Spider History was just a segment on the larger show.
That's right.
And that was because Spider History, like I've stated before, used to be very brief. It wasn't very detailed.
It was a segment.
It was just a segment
inside of a bigger episode. Yeah.
Right. But the Hypno Hustler one was where it started to, Spider History started to find its place, started to take form. And then the Joey Z episode is then kind of where it found its
Spider-Man Night Fever.
Yep, that's right. But Spencer, that's a pretty good idea, actually. Maybe we should bring that back for
I like it.
A more detailed going over.
Maybe we do that spec, isn't it Spec 24? And maybe another appearance of Hypno Hustler.
Yeah, well, we did actually talk about that when we talked about one of the senility here. What was the Spider-Man series without Spider-Man?
Sony Pictureverse.
No. It was like, it lasted about 22 issues.
Tangled Web.
Tangled Web of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Actually, we did. The Hypno Hustler was in the one with where he was in prison with Tombstone. If you remember, that's the one where they that's the one where they were Tombstone was assembling a crew, and he was going to try he wanted to try to smuggle some weapons in. And so he went around asking guys, what do you have? And I think it was the Hypno Hustler that said he had some Vaseline, and Tombstone says, what am I going to do with? Oh, that's a good idea. And then later, where did you hide that? That's what the Vaseline was for. But
anyway, my God.
Hypno Hustler was also in Hypno Hustler, though, was also in Spider-Man Reign. And I have thought about doing that one.
You should do Spider-Man Reign. I don't like the story, but it's bad.
It's not a particularly good story.
It's well known.
It's different. It has the million eggs of cancer line, but it also, to give credit where credit is due, I think Kari Andrews, succinctly why Mary Jane loved Peter Parker. It was the best, and I'll save it for the time I do it. Probably anybody who's read it knows what it is anyway. But the best line that perfectly sums up why Mary Jane Watson loved Peter Parker. So I may do that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it'd be funny. Go from a real funny episode to one.
I vote for Reign. I vote for Reign.
Yeah.
Matt wants to know your thoughts on John Romita passing.
Well, 93 years old. He didn't get cheated out of anything. He was, they say that, the word legend is sometimes too liberally applied. However, there's no doubt that it was applicable to him. I think Brad once considered him. I think you referred to him as you consider him a co-creator as well. I think though I didn't go with co-creator, but I definitely think he was one of Spider-Man's fathers. Him, Stan, and Steve. It's when you talk about Spider-Man's who made Spider-Man what he is. Stan, Steve, and John Romita, because Ditko kind of set the framework, but John Romita helped take him to that next level. It gave it that kind of, the characters all were better looking. He kind of sends with his background in romance comics, because, the artist, now we know, all these years later, that the artist did a significant amount of plotting back in those days. And so instead of, Ditko's increasingly angry stories, Romita kind of brought that soap opera-ish romantic element. He designed Mary Jane, based her on Anne Margaret. The Kingpin was based on Sidney Greenstreet from Maltese Falcon. Now, passing of a legend, no doubt. But it's got a favorite
Romita cover or anything?
Here's the thing. We've talked about we have talked about 25 favorite covers of doing that.
Well,
there's definitely
going to be I haven't released it, but we'll release it now. One of our shows coming up is going to be, since it's our 25th anniversary, the panel is picking out our 25 favorite covers. Everybody's going to pick out 25 of their favorite covers. And I bet you JR is going to be very Goblin centric. Are you showing your number one right now? Is that what you're doing?
No, the number 39, Romita's first cover.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a show coming up later this year in celebration of our 25th.
Oops, spoilers.
Yeah. If they're watching for 2 hours, they can get an exclusive. There you go. But McNulty says, I'm surprised you guys haven't done more Ultimate Spider-Man in Spider history. The kids love it, JR. The kids love Ultimate Spider-Man.
I wrote about Ultimate Spider-Man in the Spidey Kicks Butts articles. I've thought about that. That really has crossed my mind, McNulty. Probably the first 12 issues, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
What I think you would have fun with, because I know you love to cover bad stuff. Gwen turning into Carnage. You just how absurd that is. And also you bad mouthing the Goblin Hulk would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
The thing is, the Ultimate Universe, it was kind of an interesting idea for a while. And to me, the Ultimate Universe proves why you can't have too much realism in comics, because ultimately if you introduce it, then what happens like happens. I mean, the world literally falls apart. I mean, which is what, and you have massive death and destruction and, everything like that. But what was I thinking? Oh, but like I'll tell you though, the Ultimate Avengers, the Ultimates, that first volume of Ultimates, that is a classic comic book story. Period. Was it Millar or?
Yeah, it was Millar and Brian Hitch. Yeah,
that was that one I think has got to be at the top of anybody's comic book list.
Jonathan Lopez is asking for some Spider-Girl.
That's always a possibility. I've thought about that as well. I like the Spider-Girl series. I really did.
I watched Kelly and Zach do that one. We've never had JR's point of view on a couple issues. What's the highlight of Spider-Girl if you were to tackle about 2 or 3 of them? Well, obviously,
I don't know if I would say there was a high point, but there was a period of time where I thought the stories were really interesting when they brought Felicia in and they brought her daughter Felicity, who was trying to be a superhero as well. When they used some of Peter's old villains in a different way, like Doc Ock died, but they brought in Carolyn Traynor as Dr. Octopus. I thought that was interesting. It's like, hey, that's great. It's a female villain. I liked Angel Face. That was a villain from the old Green Goblin, the Phil Urich Green Goblin series.
The thing is, I haven't read the Spider-Girl stories in 20 years,
and
like, it's been a minute.
And before Kingsley was brought back in the regular continuity,
Kingsley coming back with Spider-Girl was great,
and that was very good. So I was really, it's just a shame that series was always underperforming, and for all the grief we give Marvel really did stick with it probably as long as they could have, or longer than they should have. But I did like it when I did like some of those later stories when they were starting to bring in some of these other characters.
Josh, thank you for the super chat. I want to see JR rant on Spec 87. Oh, hell yeah, you do.
That is one of the worst that I hated.
No, I like Fred Hembeck, man. No. I like Fred.
No, God. Hembeck, one of the most important issues up to that time in Spider-Man's history, and it's drawn by a clown. He
we're friends on Facebook, me and Hembeck. He's even wished me a happy birthday. Don't badmouth Hembeck. Come on.
Well, so is Drew Barrymore. So what? Well, Hembeck wished me a happy birthday.
You got to do Spec 87. The fans demanded it. The fans demanded. You got to do it, JR. Come on. That's a classic Hobgoblin story. Wait a minute.
No. Spec 87. Oh, wait a minute. Spec 87? No, that's the Hembeck story.
No, it's the Hembeck one with the Hobgoblin and Black Cat. What happened?
Hobgoblin's not in it. The Fly's in it. It's the Fly.
Oh, okay. The one after it's the Hobgoblin, isn't it?
The ones before, I think 85, is where like the Hobgoblin actually gets his powers.
That's right. Yeah. So that's what's the big thing about that. But the Spidey versus the Fly, that's a classic one.
No, it's not.
One.
No, it's not.
I know it's not classic, but to show the visuals, the younger viewers have no idea what that artwork looks like.
And you haven't missed it. You haven't missed anything.
They don't know what Assistant Editors Month was in the 80s.
And you didn't know what that was. You didn't miss anything, kids. You didn't miss anything.
No. If memory serves, and they will correct me, I think the Assistant Editors Month wasn't the kid who collected Spider-Man on that issue, or am I off? It was Spider-Man 248.
Well, both can be true. Both can be true, though. It could have been during Assistant Editors Month, and you could still be off. But you may be right. I was amused though by the Avengers. I did buy the Avengers issue where they appeared on David Letterman. And to be honest, the Marvel team up where Aunt May became the golden oldie. I guess I was a little hard on it, but honestly,
Hornacek is saying 87 is the one where he unmasked the Felicia.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, no. I'm sorry. So was 86 in the Hembeck issue?
Well, you got to do 86 and 87 together. I mean, you just got to do it. Come on.
86 was the first time that Spider-Man started to bring a woman into his double life.
That's right.
Showing her where he worked. And it's all in that clown style. It was.
Oh, and your son is making another request. Spencer asked for the kid who collects Spider-Man. We just ASM 248. You got to do that one. That was a great one.
Well, see, here's the thing. One of the things I've tried to avoid is like the stories that are so well known. That's
the one they know. That's the ones they want to know more about.
Yeah,
your take on it is what sells Spider history.
That's a sad story. Why do you want a sad story?
Your boy asked for it. Give the boy what he wants.
I have for the last 22 years. And that's why I'm living in my own basement.
You're talking comic books in your basement.
That's why I'm talking my comic books at 60 years old in a basement. And then there's his sister, who.
Oh, let's see what she wants for you to review.
No, she doesn't. No, she did. No, she will not watch these things. In fact, when her last boyfriend heard about it, she refused to tell him how to watch them.
Wow. I think this is a compliment. Milo says that JR, you're like bacon. You make it better. Oh, yeah. Jonathan says, can you imagine JR making fun of that kid? And it makes the kid who collects Spider-Man. That's good, Zach. You should review Kid Who Collected Spider-Man and then review the 90s show episode that homages it with the little girl.
No. Not with what's her name. The cab driver.
Maurice or
no, it was
what's her name?
But anyway, she was Caribbean, and it was almost bad. It was almost racist. It was almost racist.
The mousy. Yes, the mousy. Oh God.
Oh my God. What was
the mousy? The mousy.
She didn't know. I don't know karate, but I know crazy. In that very bad Caribbean accent.
Adam, I'm with you, man. Where's Adam's comment here? You got to do Spec 85, 86, and 87 all together. All three of them, JR. That's a show. That is a show, boy. That's a show.
The thing is, guys, it's going to take time to do these, and you realize that at my age, I just may die before I get to them.
I will prop you up like Bernie, and I'll do a ventriloquist act for you, brother.
No, actually, Spencer will do it. Spencer will be hiding behind my body, imitating me. So
just call him Jim Henson. You're his Muppet.
He is supposed to.
There's a quote of the night.
That's true. He's supposed to be the next generation. When Ava takes over the show, Spencer's supposed to be one of the panelists.
Random internet weirdo wants you to review the Iron Fist show.
Oh my God.
Weekend at JR's is what the name of the movie's called.
I tell you, the Iron Fist show.
Oh,
my daughter. We watched. I don't know. We binged it over a few. And the minute it was over, and Spencer might remember this, Rachel jumped up and yelled, "That was stupid!"
I didn't get to season 2. I finished season 1. I couldn't get to 2.
She hated all the characters. The only one that was any good was Ward. But
I don't even know who that was. Yeah. Ward, Spencer has committed. Once you die. Crawl space the next generation. There you go. And then on the next generation, they'll do Spider History twice a month. If you don't, we've kind of done it 3 episodes this month, but binge Spider History every day, so you can milk JR before he dies. Oh,
that just sounds vulgar.
It does.
But yeah, it does.
Girl who played Colleen's hot though, says Adam.
Okay, your mileage may vary. But actually, isn't that what they did with Stan? They just filmed a whole bunch of cameos, before he died, and stuck him in movies.
I think Endgame was the last one, and he was CG'd. I think. JR's going to do Spider History Forever. Will have his head in a jar like Future.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember somebody making that. I remember making that joke.
JR, I'm getting tired. How about you? Are you getting tired too?
Are you kidding? At my age, this is gee whiz. I mean, it's like I'm going to have to like, pop a Geritol or something, or
chat.
It's been too long since I put my teeth in a jar, So
chat, including Spencer Fettinger. Thank you for watching. This has been a blast. JR, thanks for putting up with Spider history. I mean, Spidey Super Stories with me. That was a blast. I had a
well, I'm a saint. I'm a saint.
Well, now don't go that far. All right, everybody. You have a good night, and we will be back tomorrow night. We've got 2 more shows tomorrow night. JR will be back,
but I won't be doing it. I won't be doing an issue though. I'll just be sitting there giving it a grade.
Yeah, he'll be giving it a grade about Kamala Khan's, what happens to her. And we've got amazing reviews tomorrow at 7 here on YouTube. And we've also got Spider Satellites, where JR will review all the symbiote issues, including Carnage. And Liz Osborne has a symbiote called Misery. He's also the edge of the Venomverse. JR will tackle.
JR has a perfect record. JR has a perfect record when it comes to participating in a Spider Satellite show. 0. And it's going to stay that way. Although I was tempted to pop in on the one with 2099 when Osborne showed up. But
but boy, that one went south real quick on that book though.
Well, it's like they talk about him for 4 issues, and then
I know,
and it's like then he appears in the 5th one with all these other lame characters, and the thing is though, I mean, of course, everyone knows. I mean, Norman's my favorite here, but there was no indication in any 2099 stuff that Norman had survived, that Norman had, none, and then all of a sudden, he's the guy behind the whole black cards thing.
I know. We got a lot of comments for you, JR, before we wrap up. We need JR AI to keep going. JR,
like Max Headroom, right?
Any articles coming? No, this is his articles. He's live streaming to the internet, Adam. He's not writing, he's talking.
No, the crawl space effectively killed or helped to kill but actually part of it was just actually Spencer's partially responsible for it.
Yeah, blame the boy.
Well, no, because actually I stopped writing about the time I think the year I coached his Little League team. I was forced to coach his Little League team one that year. And I just, at this point, at that point in time, it's like I'm spending a whole lot of time writing these articles. I could be spending it, hanging out with, the boy, doing other things.
Milo, thanks for the great show. Someone once said every day with JR is a gift. That was George, I guarantee it.
Well, particularly since there's fewer. I mean, there's fewer days ahead of me than behind me.
Milo, I'll give you some money on Monday, Brad. Okay, Milo, thank you. Thanks for putting up with our crap, says Random Internet Weirdo. Can the corn. Bye. Great show as always, Brad and JR. Thanks so much, Brad and JR, for putting up with Brad.
That is a thankless job, That is a
thanks, guys. Job. Keep riffing, JR. It's always fun. Great show. I had a blast. Thanks so much. You amazing show. Great. Gee, thanks, Spencer. And Winnipeg Webhead says that's almost a compliment to Spencer. See y'all later, and good job. Peace out, everybody. I hope you had a good time. JR and I will be back tomorrow night to review the recent issues of Amazing.